Maybe.
What up?
Girl. Ain't nobody on here yet.
So
Um,
people actually get on this thing and like talk with us or what?
yeah,
I've never
do you
done some
watch
shit like this.
do you watch YouTubes where people be talking in the live chats and stuff?
That's all I do on Facebook is just watch videos.
Okay, so now we're the two doing the video and whoever comes on here is watching like you'd have been watching.
So we have to wait for people to get on here.
No, we can talk regularly. They'll
So
come in when they come
is
in.
this like a podcast type thing? Is this gonna post?
It's not a podcast type thing yet because we're just seeing what happens today. Doing this real quick. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, how it's gonna flow. We're not the most
So
easily
my
received
question
people.
is, can we post this?
Yeah, it's in the post.
Where are we gonna post it on Facebook?
If you want to post on Facebook, you can.
All right. Well, just for all y'all out there, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm sorry. I'm 34, and I don't understand any of this shit. So
But why you apologize? It's like, that
I'm
bitch
being
say I'm
guided by Ashley.
sorry, but you turn into
'Cause
Forrest Gump. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. She smells like cigarettes.
Girl, leave me alone. Yeah, this is one of my best friends. My babes.
And that's one of my best friend. She my best friend. This is my best friend. This is my best friend.
You can't dance like
I'm
dance
gonna
because it's
tell
just
y'all.
out everywhere.
Maybe we could start off with the topic of friendship, and I will
Me and
say
you.
100%. This woman that I'm doing this video thing, whatever we're doing, I really don't know, but that I'm
No,
doing it
bitch, what
with.
you've been asking me to do. What you've been
Well,
asking me to
I just
do.
don't know what we're doing, but whatever. I
Get
want to
me a
say
bitch.
she's seriously. I have
Crazy.
been one of the most fucked off people
No,
that
you're
she's probably
not.
ever met. But she has literally stood by my side, answered every phone call, even when she probably didn't want to listen to me talk the way that I was talking and being in the condition that I was in. This girl
You
has
knew the
never judged me.
psychologist.
She has always had my back, and
She keep buffering.
this whole video thing that we're gonna do. This is a typical conversation between Ashley and I. Pretty much damn near on a daily basis, unless one of us is sick. We call each other bitch. What you doing?
Okay. It's back now, girl.
We do. Remember when we went through that phase with Key and Pill?
Oh, you talking to
Bitch.
Jamie?
Yeah, when Key and Pill are doing that thing and they're talking about talking to their girls, but they're
Oh, she said,
like
yeah.
super far off away from them. They're like, oh,
What was that on?
bitch. Other than that, I just want to talk about the um ability that comes with maturity to just truly just be happy and accept things.
But it
Whether
cut off.
we do have to talk about that.
It cut off. I don't know what you were saying. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Just to be happy. I mean, Ashley, you've been so sick for so long, but you've
Oh
managed to
yeah.
just be there for everybody. And there's never a moment that I have called you that you haven't responded, or I couldn't call your mom or something like that. I mean, through
I
everything
mean,
that y'all have gone through, y'all remain happy and y'all remain faithful and you remain in good spirits. Sometimes I know that
well, even my
shit gets
friends when we were
hard, but
15 years old, of course, I'm gonna always be your
yeah. I've called you at damn 3 o'clock in the freaking morning. Are you awake? You're like, well, I wasn't, but
I know it buffering. I don't know why it keeps freaking buffering. I have music and
uh,
dance. Um,
our Wi-Fi is messing up. So I'm just not using it.
I'm getting that. Girl, I'm tearing this damn smoothie up. It didn't have a chance in here.
Oh, I've drank those before. They're
I like
okay.
them. I like
I
them.
like them.
But I like
They're all right.
smoothies though. So
I like smoothies too. I'll put like cucumber and like raspberries,
mm-hmm.
a bunch of fruit.
But bitch, that was too fruit.
Jado, are you out here being nosy and listening to me? Are you out here being
Yes.
nosy and listening to me? Would you like to come say hello?
You don't put her on here. Don't put her on here. Do not put her on here at all.
I'm not going to put you on camera,
I
but
don't want to
just
have to
say
go to
hi.
jail.
Just say hi, Aunt Ashley. Just say hi. Hi. You hear her? This is
What's
video
going on
thing.
with these technical difficulties? Okay,
All right.
you're back.
All right. Go inside and go watch the game. Go on.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't put her on here, girl. I don't want to have to
No,
get in no
girl,
issues.
I don't. I don't even post pictures of her.
No,
Go inside and watch
not
the
at all.
game and don't ask too many questions.
But no, what was I saying? No.
We were just talking about just, I don't know, strength and just friendship.
I'm about to. Is it my Wi-Fi or yours?
See, I don't have to use Wi-Fi because I have that 5G unlimited whatever.
What the hell? Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
keep that
mine
Wi.
says 5G, so I don't have to use Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I put mine on the 5G.
Oh, okay.
But no, I've always, as soon as we met and we got cool, been protective over you since then. I don't see it changing. And yes, bitch, you do call me when I say, I don't want to talk right now. I bet just what's wrong. You like, I just want to tell you, I love you, I love you too. I've never
But
been mad at you.
there were so many years that you were just sick, and there were so many years that there was so much bullshit that was wrong with me, and you
Hmm.
still, no matter how you felt, no matter what, you just always been there,
You're my friend.
and you're my friend,
I know. That's really non-negotiable for me if I'm
and
your
I love you, and
friend.
I can promise you right now. And I absolutely hate anything that's monetary just because my mom, that's how she was raising me.
Hmm.
She just would drink and then fuck up and then buy me something. And that's just always been her way of loving me. So it's not about the monetary aspect of what you bought me for Christmas. But
That was
when you
not for
bought me that
Christmas.
necklace, but I know it wasn't cheap. So I'm just saying it's not
I
about the
said, but it
money.
wasn't
It's
for
just
Christmas.
but the fact that you came over here and you told me
Yeah.
what you told me, and your mom was here, and y'all incorporated yourselves into my world and gave a shit about who is she around.
Oh, that's
You
my
know what I
boy
mean?
though.
And you know
Yeah.
that your mama was definitely out of her comfort zone. She almost wouldn't get out of the car.
Girl, she was fine.
No,
She
but
just
as
said
soon
she
as she
looked
got out of the
rough.
car, she started eating, and then she told me later on that she had like the best time.
Thank
And that
you.
was great. But just that necklace that you bought, it's really what you said behind it. It absolutely, that day will live with me
Don't
forever.
start. Don't start. You know, you probably not start.
I know. I'm not going to cry, but it's just, after Jasmine died, I had so many people give me so much judgment on the choices that I made and the end of her treatment and whatnot, including my own family. It tore apart a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
And so, and I always, not that I've ever wanted like a pat on the back, but
Mhm.
I always just wish that somebody would just say, you fucking did it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You were there and you made the right decisions, and in the end you made the right decision.
Well, I always
And
say I'm proud of you.
a lot of people did tell me, and I appreciate this as well. A lot of people told me after she passed away, that little girl didn't get a life, and that's the kind of life that you want to live. The hell's wrong with
Right.
you? What kind of respect are you giving to your daughter living the way that you're living? And I, looking back on it now, I see what they were saying. It was just a lot of judgment, and I just feel like you never gave me that kind of judgment.
Who am I to judge you? I was like, I've
Who
never,
is
I've
anybody to
never,
freaking judge me?
right. I mean, no one. I've never gave birth to a child and raised a child and then lost a child within 6 months. I've never done that. So I wouldn't even know what to begin to tell you. All I said was, how can I help? Because I don't know how you feel. I didn't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel now. I can imagine,
I feel
but I'm
fine
not.
now. I do. I really feel fine now, and
Mm-hmm,
my faith, and I think prison changed that for me, and I think that prison was the best thing to happen to me. Honestly,
I
because
missed
it,
you a
it
lot.
gave me it gave me that was the first time that I was sober in 20 years almost,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So it was God's way of like, I'm gonna sit you down and we're gonna get this thing figured out. But
Yeah.
I had to have sobriety. I had to learn how to cope with things without drinking or doing some kind of drug or whatever. I had to learn
Yeah.
that. I had never learned it. And so that was honestly one of the best things that ever happened to me in my entire life. I'll always be extremely grateful for it. But
Well, so we can say you're rehabilitated.
I still have a lot of damn issues. I can, have enough
I
wine
know,
and become a
friend.
little, I can have enough wine and become a little bitch or end up doing something I shouldn't have done or whatever. I'm not mommy 101 or anything, but uh, just the coping mechanism, I am able to discuss my problems with solidarity, to
Hmm.
discuss them and put them and get them off my shoulders and not use the bottle to solve them.
But you know what though? Like for everyone who's dealt with anything that was hard or would cause embarrassment to your life, we all have needed to start somewhere. We've all been at a place where it's like we should just quit, give up. Like we're all humans, and I wish that things would get back to normal, where humans didn't humiliate people who have very human emotions or feelings. People, oh
Yeah,
yeah, yes, that's weird. You're weird. I'm just like, loving somebody is weird. Like I don't get it. It used to not be like that, and it's sad.
yeah.
I don't think anyone
You
should have
just have
judged
to,
you.
and I told, and there was a lot of women in prison that when they, whenever people would be being released the next day, we would all get in a circle and we would pray, you know. And I wasn't
Hmm.
really a big out loud prayer type, It took me a long time to get to that point.
Right.
But I have had so many women that I met in there that came
Hmm.
to me and pulled me inside and said, you fucking changed my life.
Hmm.
And it's just, it's all life is to me, it's all about faith.
Yeah,
It's all
I
about
agree.
me knowing I have no business questioning God and what the hell, why he gave me a daughter and took her away 4 years later. I don't have it. It's not my business. It's God's plan, and God's plan is God's plan. He's not an evil
Hmm.
man. She didn't do anything. She touched so many people's lives. I went to the Marriott in the Energy Corridor, kind of by Stratford,
Hmm.
and I went back there one time, and the girl with the room service, she came up there and she goes, "Where's Jasmine?" And I said she didn't make it. That little
Mm.
girl dropped the tray, fell on her damn knees. That is how
Because she was
Jasmine
such a
touched
little
people.
woman.
She
She was
touched
like,
people in an insane way. So in
mm-hmm,
some way, shape, or form, she had a damn purpose for 4 years.
mm-hmm.
And that's it.
I agree.
So do I wish selfishly that she was still here? Do I wish that her and Jada were wrestling in the yard? Do I wish that I didn't react that way to her death and that I had all three of my kids now? And it just, I mean, my whole life was in shambles within. I buried Jasmine, and then David took Jada, and Rick took off with Jenna. I lost 3 kids in a week. I've
Mm-hmm.
never felt that low. And having drinking being the only coping mechanism, it just, I fucked up. And then I had to leave my kids again to go and do my time in prison because I couldn't handle my responsibilities. And just, but it is what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
can't regret things. You just have to, now I know with the next tragedy, which will happen, it could be my mom passing away or Brittany passing away or Jamie, or something happening to Jada. I know now that the worst thing that you can do is just go off the deep end and just become sick
Mm-hmm.
because it ain't going to do shit. When your dad got sick, you were sick.
Girl,
Your
he's
mom,
sick.
I mean,
He's not even doing better. Like, we'll talk
it's
about
so
that
much,
later.
but it's a lot to deal with. But you have to,
Yeah.
and I used to teach a lot of those girls that told me I changed their lives. What I taught them was in the morning, like if they had school or if they had our classes that started at about 11:30. I said, wake up an hour to 2 hours earlier and start thanking Jesus. Just start thanking him. And I
Yeah.
promise you will sit there for an hour thanking that man.
Mm-hmm.
And it will change your whole day.
I agree.
There's a lot
I
of damn
agree.
people that are in really bad situations. And I said, I know that we're in a shitty ass prison, but we have a roof above our head. I said, I got enough commissary. I've got commissary in 5 different people's boxes. We got food. We
Yeah. I
got
think
God.
David will be there soon. You hear me?
What'd you say?
I think David will be there soon.
David's here.
No, not you. My ex-husband, David.
Oh, you're David?
Why would I be asking about your David, bitch?
I don't know.
Do
I
he
didn't
owe
know
me
who you
some
were
fucking
talking about.
money or something?
David?
Did he owe me some money? My David, he said, girl, he don't owe me no money. I'm not gonna ask about that man if he don't owe me no money. You should know better than
So,
that.
is he coming to your house?
No, girl, he's going back to jail.
Oh.
When he
Well, good.
robbed them damn,
Sometimes that's the best thing.
he needs to go back because he's 120 pounds. He drugged out. I just talked to his brother. He was like, we tried to help him. He don't want the help. So his ass going to jail. I'm like, oh,
Like I said, sometimes it's just you have 2 choices when you go to prison. You can either come out worse than you came in and meet a bunch of people that have no plan on changing, and you just come out and start fucking with them and selling more drugs or selling your vagina or whatever the hell. Or
feel your
you can take
vagina.
the time and use it. Utilize the
Mm-hmm.
time. I got 37 certificates while I was in there. I didn't get in any fights. You can utilize the time and change. Was I
You already
completely
did 10 years.
transformed? Was I completely transformed? No. But
No, you weren't.
maybe David needs to go and just God is sitting him down, but that's up to him. But no, that's the wonderful thing about God is no matter how many times that he tries to sit you down and he
Mm-hmm.
tries to show you something and you get in his way, he will
Fix you.
retract you and he will cover it up.
Yeah.
Somehow, if you have some purpose here, he will find a way to continue you on that path.
Right. I
And
mean, I know I
unfortunately, for
would never
some
be
people,
back
it's
with
prison.
him. I know I would never be back with him
No,
ever. It would
I
never
don't
be
ever
brought
want you to
this
fucking
way.
speak to him again. That guy's a fucking piece of shit.
He is,
Don't
girl.
ever let me meet him.
No, you would never meet him because he doesn't come around me. He don't know where I live now. Remember, he
I'll
was at
fuck
my other
around.
apartments
I'll
and
fuck
shit.
around and wind up on the first 48.
Girl, no, you won't. We'll
I don't
have to
like that
fight.
dude.
If you
That guy's
ever
an
ran
ass.
down, if you ever try to run down on any motherfucking body for me, me and you're gonna fight because that's not what we do.
I don't think I'd do it, but okay. So I have a homegirl of mine that I actually met in the state jail, and she's the one that introduced me to Jamie actually. And
Oh,
she's had 5 children, 3 of which are with this certain man. Well, he raped all 3 of his kids that he had with her.
girl, what the
Dude, this dude goes to court, didn't get any jail time, and got 10 years probation.
bitch? Where was he at?
Okay, that's my point. We were driving down, I was hanging out with her one day, and we're driving down the road, and she goes, he lives right there. And I had a knife in my bag with my clothes. I said, hey, can you just stop there for just a second? I said, Wendy, please pull this motherfucking car over right now. I mean, I wanted so badly to have him answer the door and just, I mean, obviously you can't do that and behave that way, but I wanted so badly. Like, you raped 3 kids and you just get to walk all around town. Like, it just boggles my mind.
I'm not even understanding how the hell they would let that person even.
He knew somebody in the police system.
That's like my cousin Norris. He my second cousin. Hold on.
Baby Chaz, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Baby Chaz?
Okay, I'm big. Sorry about that. But girl, what the fuck? Like, what was he in Houston?
I think they were actually in Brenham when this happened, but it's just
Okay.
he lives right down the street, and it's nuts to me that, and you know, we're having such an epidemic right now with people going to jail, getting out on a bond, and then there was one, I saw a show the other day, where there was this one mother on TV, and her son was murdered, and the guy that murdered him was out on bond and committed 37 bond violations.
Because they don't care.
If you put your fucking dick in a little 5-6-year-old child, why do you have a bond?
He shouldn't.
I mean, that boggles my mind.
But just don't say the R word, none of that, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't speak graphic like that.
Okay, well, if you rape a child, I don't understand that you would have a bond. I don't understand how you would do no jail time, and I don't understand how you would just be get off on probation. I don't get it. Our justice system is so just bizarre to me.
Girl, if you ever look at Hurricane Katrina, they left a lot of jail people in the jail, and then they unlocked the doors. So a lot of criminals came to other places.
I know.
So I'm not too above them thinking they would do the same thing right now, but they was out on bond. So, and his address is Homeless USA. So why would you give him a bond? I'm just,
well, that's
everybody's getting bonded out.
And they handled that pretty horribly.
They did.
I was working at Steak and Ale off Willcrest and I-10 at that time, and I got robbed by like a 5-year-old.
Why is it always you?
Well, he tried to sell me some candy, and you know me, I don't eat candy, and so I'm like, whatever, you know. I knew that he was, you know, in a dark spot with everything because there was a hotel. Why does my face just keep going this way?
Because you keep moving in circles.
How do I do this?
Now go
Okay.
get on here and ask
All
slow
right.
friend.
So this kid sells me this candy, and I buy
Mm-hmm.
the candy, and I was a hostess at the time. I was like 16, 17. And I go back up to the host stand. This little kid stole the damn candy.
So
So
he
I
didn't
ran
rob
off.
you. He robbed the company.
No, I bought the candy with my own money. So he steals the damn candy. So I walk back up to the front, like the host stand, and I ran out the front door. I told my boss. He was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Just I need to take care of something."
Bitch, how much was the candy?
So I ran. Well, it doesn't matter. It's the
It
principle.
matters to
It's
me. Please elaborate. How much was the candy?
maybe $5 or some shit like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I go to chase after this little kid. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "You little motherfucker." And I could see he was running to the hotel. I'm like, "You little
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker." I was like, "Get your ass back here." But his parents were up there on the, like, by the rail on the second story of the motel, and they were
Okay.
coaxing him back up. So their parents, but there's a lot of people that lost a lot of stuff that is absolutely horrific. But there was a lot of people that really just took advantage of it, and it sucks because it caused so much controversy. I mean,
What
people
did?
going in and stealing it. They were just out of their minds. But for you to send your little 5-year-old kid in to steal from a 16-year-old girl that works 7 days a fucking week, when literally, if that kid would have walked in there and asked me for anything, I would have given him every last dime that I had.
But what time period was this you said?
I was 16. I was working at Steak and Ale. This is right after Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, okay,
What?
okay.
What? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm talking to Aunt Ashley. Mind your business.
She always trying to ear hustle.
She's so funny. She's so inquisitive. Like, she's always like wondering like what I'm talking about or who I'm talking to or
Cause she
why I'm
misses you
doing
and
it.
she's still trying to figure you out.
Yeah, and that's
Mm.
okay. I have to get on her ass a lot. Sometimes Jamie and Brian are like, "Man, quit. Like, stop being so
Quit begging this
crazy with her."
baby.
And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not raising some little dumb broad. Just not.
Okay, but she's not a little dumb broad. So don't treat her
And
like
I'm going to
one.
make sure that
Don't treat her like one.
I don't treat her like one. But, like, for instance, if I ask you to do something, fucking do it. Bottom line, you know? And I keep showing her examples. Like, if I ask her to put her $30 pack of coloring pencils away so that the kitten that she asked for
She
doesn't
has a
knock the pencils
kitten.
off onto the floor so then the dog can chew them up, just put the pencils away. You know what she did the other day?
Mm-mm.
I told her, and I told you this. I told her, I said, "You asked for this damn kitten, so you
I'm
will clean the
shocked.
cat pen. You will clean the cat pen. Bottom line, you asked for it. I paid for it. I drove. I picked the damn thing up. Clean the cat pen. It's part of your
Okay, so
chores."
wait. Brief intermission. So y'all have some chickens, a big
Chickens,
ass
the
dog,
dog,
and a cat,
a
and a
cat, and a
snake,
hamster, and a
and a
snake.
snake. So
Yeah.
everybody can eat each other. That's what's gonna happen. That snake gonna
Yeah.
take that the chicken and the damn hamster out of there, and Jasmine get the snake.
No, but listen to this. What she did the other day. I told her, I said, "Hey, I give her 2 grocery bags, for her to
Mm-hmm.
go and take it and clean out the cat pen." And I had taken the trash bag out of the main trash in the kitchen, and I was, emptying out the fridge and all that stuff to, get rid of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her to go empty the cat pan. Well, she goes back there. She comes back into the kitchen And she's like, well, I'm just going to throw it out here into the outside trash. I said, no,
Mm-mm.
babe, just throw it into this trash right here. I'm fixing to take it out. And she's like, no, no, no. Can I please just put it in this trash can? I said, give me those fucking bags.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing in there.
She can do it.
She took the time to puff up the bags to make them look like there was damn cat shit in there, girl.
But she is
And
your walking
tried to pull
payback.
that off. And I told her at that point, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had a couple glasses of wine at that time, and I'll take that damn cat and go. Somebody will take him. I didn't ask for this cat. This is your responsibility. And above everything else, you took the time to go into the room and puff up the bag and come up with that kind of lie.
She
That's
did.
what I'm pissed off about.
And wasted the bag.
And I said, you're grounded. Ground her from what? I don't freaking know, but we won't say that to her. But I just told her, I said, you're grounded. And I said, you know what? I said, I don't even talk to my niece anymore because
You
of her
haven't?
lying. And I said, no, I don't talk to her. She's a liar. She's weird. I don't talk to her. I don't want to
This is
associate with her.
Sylvia's daughter, right?
But I told her, I said, you know, Jada, I promise you, baby girl, and I'm not going to tell you everything that I've done in my life, but I can promise you that there's pretty much nothing that you could do that will
Nothing.
make me, you know, cut you off. I will be pissed, but I will always be proud that you came to me and told me the truth.
Yeah.
Just
But if
don't
she
lie
comes
to
and
me.
tells you
That's
the
the only thing
truth,
I can't do. I
if she
can't
comes
take
and
the
tells
damn
you the
line.
truth, I know how you can be. I wouldn't say be pissed first. Like, or let being pissed be the smallest percentage of your overall response because you want to encourage her to tell you more.
Well, she knows I'm going to be pissed, and she knows what I expect, and I'm very surprised that she's doing as well as she is, considering that she hasn't had any discipline in 4 years. Because she has uh, she had to memorize some words or whatever. I made her write
Mm-hmm.
down the words and the definitions 5 times each. So she comes
Mm-hmm.
back and I tested her on it, and she missed 2 of them. She didn't get the right definition. So I went and I made her write those 2 words 10 times each.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what she came home with on that damn test?
What?
100.
I think more adults need to do that so they can figure out how to use the proper words in
She,
sentences when they're writing.
I don't know. I have a child that's very smart, that not only is she um book smart, but she's mentally pretty much been through, in my opinion, more than most people that I know that are in their 30s, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would consider her, I don't want to call it street smart, I don't know, but she's been shit.
She's tough.
I can't see. Hold on.
Yeah, 'cause you're in the country and it's black as hell outside.
It's that damn tree. It's got these like what do you call it? The roots that are sticking up out of the ground.
Yes, 'cause one almost took me out.
But she's been through more than what she should have been through at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And what really breaks my heart is that I think that the lying thing, it comes from, she lost her sister,
Mm-hmm.
and she saw my reaction to her sister's death, and she
Right.
saw, all she knows is that I became an absolute drunk. I was sick every single day,
And everybody has
and
something to say about you though.
then I went to prison. So for her, what she does is she's so afraid to tell me anything to upset me, because she doesn't want me to go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And when she first came here, she writes in her diary, and I was just looking at it one day. I didn't even realize it was like her diary, because it was just like a regular notebook, and she wrote in there, and she said there was this girl that was born. Her name was Jada, and when she was born,
Oh.
and she goes, her sister um got cancer and she died, and her parents divorced, and if she had never been born, none of that would have happened.
Why would she think this?
I don't know. And her old school from Oregon called me and told me that the counselor called me, the principal called me, a teacher called me, and the counselor called me. And when the counselor
Mm-hmm.
called me, they told me that they had been doing that she actually took the time out and kind of went like overboard and did like
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one sessions with her. And she said she thinks that her sister died because of her.
How?
So when I read that, I
I
told
would
her,
have
I
been
said, you know
crying.
why I said, you know why I divorced your daddy? Because it gets on my damn nerves. I don't like him. We just were not meant to be. It
Mm-hmm.
is not your fault. And I told her, I said, this is kind of a mature thing to say to you. And I said, the whole relationship that I had with your father, the only two good things or three good things that came out of it was you, your sister, and just learning not to trust a motherfucker that quickly.
Mm-hmm. Them damn David girl.
And I told her, I said, listen, cancer, I said, everybody in my entire family aside from cancer, I said, you have, you being born has nothing to do with your sister getting cancer.
Yeah.
No, it's not your fault.
She's been internalizing it, like blaming herself for something that she couldn't have
Yeah.
even
And
done.
the fact that the counselor told me that, I was like, what? And when I read what I read, said, I cannot believe that you have been carrying this burden around for this many years.
Yeah.
As a small
Kids do
child that's
that.
supposed to be that's horrible. And I don't know what would make I don't know. But you know how kids are. It's always blame themselves for everything.
I mean, yeah, but that's a little different. That was her little sister. And I think that with that one, older siblings, say I'm supposed to protect my siblings. And, I think that she just took it way harder than she let on, trying to be strong for you.
I think where her feelings come from is that um I had to take care of her as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't able to give enough attention to Jasmine, even though that's not the truth, obviously, but all my attention. I mean, it took a lot of effort to give Jada the proper attention to and not make her feel um, like she was on the sidelines or something. I talked to
Hmm.
psychiatrists about it because when Jasmine was going through radiation, I bought her a new dress every single day, and there was
Hmm.
this old black lady. Oh my god, she was so cute. Her name was Miss Dead,
Hmm.
and every day Jasmine would walk into the treatment center, and she was like, Miss Deb. Miss Deb would be like, girl, let me see what you got on today. And she
That's
would
because
walk
your
behind the
baby was a
counter.
mess.
It was just amazing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that kind of mom that I've never been a spoiler. I've never had my kids really sleep with me in the room or anything like that. And so I did. I talked to a psychiatrist
No,
and I
Jesse,
said,
you are a spoiler. You're a
I
spoiler.
I am too. I mean, I am. And
Right, a hundred
I've been
thousand
told by
percent.
everybody over here that I'm too damn strict.
No, they
What,
don't.
baby?
They haven't allowed you to have your wish inside.
Oh, Jamie did the pumpkin.
Mm,
She did it. Here, let's see if
okay.
we can see it on the camera. Here, bring it over here. Show
They
Ashley.
carved it.
Yeah.
My mama was like, I think I had girl, she's so expression
There you
in the
go.
car. Oh, that's cute. Who did it?
Jada did it.
Girl, you better go ahead, Jada. That looks good.
That is good. We're gonna start like a pumpkin pimp company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Do you know how
We're
innocent you
gonna start
sound?
slanging. We're gonna start slanging pumpkins. All right.
Are you silly?
Are you
You
ready to
have
start slanging
zero hood
pumpkins?
in you.
I'll teach you how to slang some pumpkins. Open the damn door. Leave the thing outside. It's got fire in it.
Blow it
Don't.
out so she can have her pumpkin.
All right. Open the door. Then bring the pumpkin inside. Then set it down. And then turn around and close the door. It's a very simple process. My God. I swear to God.
Baby. I see she gets that from you.
Put it inside. Why are you continuing to walk outside? Go inside. Shut the
I'm
door.
gonna end up popping your lips messing with her like that.
She is so funny.
Girl. So
But
you
this
still
is
want to
so
talk about
weird
these
for me.
controversial things? Or
The what?
so you want to go ahead and talk about the controversial things you want to discuss?
We can, but let me tell you this one other thing real quick.
Okay.
The first week of school, she came home and she brought me, it was her first Friday, and she brought me a test that she took, and it was
Mhm.
a 50. It was a 50.
Mhm.
And I just was livid. And I told her, I said, let me tell you something about living around here. That shit won't fly around here at all.
Mhm.
So you're going to take that test and you're going to retake it and you're going to retake it and you're going to retake it. And then you're going to bring it back to your teacher and show that you made the fucking effort to fix this test. You want to be a veterinarian? You want to do A, B, and C, whatever. I don't care if you flip burgers at freaking Burger King. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. But she's been telling me she wants to be a vet since she was 2 years old.
Mhm.
And I said, these little 50s, this shit, you can't. There's 5 vet schools in the state of Texas. And mommy doesn't
Mhm.
have the money to send you to one.
I mean,
So if you want to
education
get a
in Texas is
scholarship
already hard.
and get into one of them, you got to have all A's, baby. That's just the bottom line. I said, even if you don't want to do that and you do want to flip burgers, you still will make all A's because everything that you do, you will give your 100%.
Mhm.
You know what she had on her report card?
100.
Straight A's.
That's good.
And every Friday she comes home. She's been in school for 9 weeks. The first week there was the 50. Every week since then, her lowest grade has been an 86.
Mhm.
And I
That's not
told her, I
bad.
said, if you want to be a vet, you better figure out some way to like school because it is
Yeah.
a lot of school.
What is not like
It's
back home?
no, I mean, becoming a veterinarian is the same thing as becoming a doctor.
Right. I
It's
know
almost
that, but
12
I'm
years of
saying
school.
you said if she like it or not. Is she missing school back home or she like school here?
Is she what?
Does she like school here or does she like it back home?
She likes it here because, I found out that David, when she was living with him, she didn't go to school for the last 2 months of her school year last year. She was an
Mhm.
hour late every single day.
What?
And the only reason that they passed her and the principal called me from that school and told me this themselves and said the only reason that
Mm-mm.
we passed her is because when we had the meeting with her father, I could tell that he was just very incompetent and wasn't going to make any effort to get her here on time. But we
What
could
was the
see from
reason for him
Jada
coming late? What was
that
the
Jada was
reason?
making the effort to learn and do well in school. But it was the lack of parenting. And they were like, there's
That's
not much
tough.
more we can tell you, but we're so glad that she's with you now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, I really don't care what she does, career wise. But it
Yeah.
she will be instilled with the characteristic of when you do something, you damn do it, and you do it to the best of your ability, and you don't turn in half-ass work. I mean, school to me, I mean, I dropped out of high school. I went to school to, you know what,
Yeah.
so this and this and that, you know what I mean? And when the school sent my mom a letter and said that she was going to go to jail over my truancy, I said, well, you have a choice, Mom. Go sign me out or go to jail. I don't really care.
I was
I
already
go
gone
there.
by then. I had to be.
I go there and make my money and I come home. And it's not going to change, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But she won't, she will not be that way. And I hope to
Right.
God that she doesn't, like being brave, like the first time and then falling into the crowd that I did. Um, it really was just a few little decisions that changed the whole course of my life. I am
Mm-hmm.
so smart, so beautiful. I could be so successful by now. I mean, I have the capabilities of doing it. It's just really,
You're successful though in that way, and you know it takes work. You know it takes growth. Some people wish they were where you're at. So still be thankful that you made it through all the things that could have destroyed you.
I know, but I think, that's the process of like, evolution. You have kids and you look back on the things that you did and the mistakes that you made and the time that you wasted and the people that you trusted when you knew that you weren't supposed to trust them, but you did anyways. It just the waste of time. And that's
Yeah.
the process of evolution, is teaching your kids to be different. And my mom, she never did that. She was just so damn tired. By the time I got to my teenager, she was just tired. She couldn't control me, and that was just it. And so I was just
Mm-hmm.
kind of ventured off on my own, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all right because I met you.
Yeah.
I had kids.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and same thing with you, with David. You gave your all. And when you
Mm-hmm.
walk away from a situation, all you can do, Ashley, and I'm sure that you made a mistake or two with him, but
Of course.
all you can do is walk away and just say, I literally gave everything that I could.
I
I
think that's the
walked
same
away
for
doing
any
the best.
relationship. I think it's the same for friendship, marriage, work coworkers. I think that should be the same for each relationship. And when you
It
want to go
is.
further, stay. And when you don't want to go further, then just say, I'm good.
Yeah, and always be, when you can walk away from a situation, you walk away in two different scenarios. You either
Hmm.
sit there and you walk away and say, okay, I really truly did everything that I can. And I don't think that we can really say that until like nowadays in our older years.
Right.
And the first way to walk away is to be like, man, I really screwed up, and learn from it and never freaking do it again. If you hurt
Right.
somebody, or if you weren't there for somebody one day when they really needed to talk, or whatever the case may be. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know, but you learn from every single relationship. And if you're
Yeah.
able to reflect and take accountability and talk to God, you're able to
Hmm.
change and be consistently become like a better person.
There you go. You have to. And in that process, a lot of separation from the people you shouldn't be around happens too.
Yeah, like that girl that said that stuff about me on the internet. You were friends with her for how long?
Girl, it don't matter and I don't care.
I'm just saying though, it's crazy when you can be friends with somebody for so long.
Girl,
But when
leave
you
that girl
walked away
alone
from
because I
that
swear to God,
situation, you should
just
have
leave.
walked away and just honestly been proud that you're like, my friend
Girl, just leave
Jesse.
her alone because they already in here talking about what girl, what girl, what girl.
I know.
Girl,
I don't. I'm
nothing.
just saying you should have walked away from that situation, being like, my friend Jesse went through something, and I'm going to stand by her for it. and I will not take that journey away from her. And I will not allow or associate myself with somebody that would have the nerve to say those things about her.
What you mean?
I
I
don't
was
want to. I don't associate with people like that. If somebody said anything about you, I'd be like, okay, well, bye.
I mean, we weren't friends at that point anymore, so it didn't really matter. That was why I went there and said who had the issue. No one said anything, so it was a wrap for me
Yeah.
because I was upset behind you.
Well, it was a
But
wrap for me too, because you have to understand why I was so offended, because I
I mean,
have.
I do because you were asked to tell your story and then made fun of, but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
you asked me to talk about what I went through with my daughter, and then you want to go online and say this and this and this and that. Like, listen, sweetheart, people people deal with things in different ways, and it's just
Yeah.
I chose alcohol. I don't even drink liquor anymore. I haven't drank liquor in months. But it took a lot, and it took a lot of mistakes that I had to make.
Jessie didn't get her kids taken away. And I didn't tell y'all anything. Jessie came on Bigo and talked to y'all herself, which is what she's talking about. I
I
didn't tell
just
you anything.
she was sitting there talking to me and telling me, "Oh my God, thank you for sharing your story and all this kind of stuff."
But you gotta
And that's
understand, she only said it as a blow to me because you're my friend. You don't have to defend anything because you didn't do anything to anyone.
I
You were
don't need
asked
to
to
offend
speak and you
anything.
spoke, and
I'm just
then
saying that that's the difference between, and sometimes you just have to, instead of being really upset about something, you just have to accept, be thankful. Again, thank Jesus. Thank God that I'm not that way. I mean, this woman
I want to be
asked to speak
done.
to me, and she asked to speak about my journey with my daughter. And I gladly spoke to her because I do feel that God has put me through. He gives me my outgoing personality and the way that I can speak to people. And I
So
know that
Jesse,
one day
now
I
now
will
I
save a young
said
mom.
now I
I will.
said you were a drug addict and an alcoholic. When the fuck is you a drug addict?
What?
It says actually you said Jess still abused drugs and alcohol. Bitch, when did you abuse drugs? When were you a drug addict?
I've never been a drug addict.
Right. I guess the same way I've been a drug addict.
Yeah, no, I drank a lot after Jasmine passed away.
But it was told that I'm a pill junkie. Me. Of all people, me.
Where are you seeing this stuff?
No, they're discussing that situation. That's why I kept telling you to move forward because really we was having a conversation that had nothing to do with anybody else.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. You know what? I buried my daughter and I drank a lot of vodka for 2 years. I went and did some time in prison, and that's how I dealt with it. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And nowadays I don't have to choose to deal with things with alcohol. And I
Right.
will fully admit that people lose their kids every single day that have other children, and they don't act the way that I acted.
Hmm.
I didn't deal with it responsibly, but I learned from it, and it honestly, really, Jasmine saved my life. She taught me more
Yeah.
things in 28 years than in 4 years than people could in almost 30. So
Hmm.
it really doesn't matter to me. It's annoying and it's offensive when like what your friend had said or whatever, but nobody can take that journey that I had. Nobody can take the moments that I had with her as an infant. Nobody can take the moments I had with her when I found out that she was sick. Nobody can take the moments that I had in those 7 months of in and out of the hospital. Nobody can take the moments that I had when I administered her medicine when she was in hospice and um, being laid to rest in my mother's house. Nobody can take the moment when I played the songs for her at her funeral. No one can take the moment when I watched that white casket get dropped into the ground and knew that I made the best damn decision. I made a good decision, and I made a selfless decision. It wasn't easy.
Hmm.
It's not easy.
I know.
It's not. So no one can take that from me. So you can
No.
say, Oh my God, Jesse drank. Oh my God, Jesse smokes marijuana. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, shut up.
Whose voice is that though? Where does that voice come?
All the fucking dumb bitches.
I like when you become British.
I mean, that's whose voice that is. All the judgmental people that have no idea what the hell they're talking about. You make those decisions. I dare you. Try it. It's hard. So don't you know, at the bottom
Girl,
line is my daughter and God and I know exactly what happened in every single moment.
right.
And it was a beautiful thing, a beautiful journey. I made it so much fun for her. And
Yeah.
fortunately, I had the money that I had. She stayed in the nicest of the nicest houses in Galveston on the beach. We would wake up and go pick seashells and wake up to the sunrise before she had to go to radiation treatments. I mean, I that girl had a damn good life. And so, in the beginning, it really did offend me. Quite more than I would say that it would now. Now I've my faith has grown to the point that I know what God is using me for, and He used me as a vessel to love that little girl and guide that little girl and pray for that little girl. He loved her through me, and that is the
Hmm.
biggest honor in the world, to be used by God.
Yeah, it's true.
So but it's my journey, and like I said, no one can take it from me.
Right.
So
With nothing though, like, sometimes we have really, really, really big journeys or things that we deal with in our own lives, and somebody else may come along and you feel like, damn, they had it worse than me. Let me humble myself.
yeah,
But sometimes when
there's
that person
nothing
comes
that's
along,
worse though. I don't agree. You do, like, when you, and that's the beauty of talking to people, and especially like being at the hospital and hearing people's stories, or being
mm,
in prison and hearing people's stories. You're just like, oh my God, you know
yeah,
and it makes you feel, it puts things in perspective. But it's just the beauty of, when you shy yourself of, oh, I don't like black people, or I don't like Mexicans, or I don't like, whatever. If I had that attitude in prison, I wouldn't have met half the people that I met, and heard the life journeys that these women had been on. There was a lot of pieces of
mm,
shit that I met in there. But just be open, you know, be
yeah,
open, own your mistakes, listen to people. People have been through some shit,
we all go through stuff.
you know. I mean, you were sick, you were given 5 years, 6 years ago.
Yeah, fuck
And
them ain't anymore.
I'm sitting here as your damn best friend. Last year I didn't know, is this really going to be the year? I mean, you've been
But
through some
I
shit.
kept telling you that it wasn't gonna be the year. I kept telling you that.
I just prayed so damn hard. I, I don't
I know
know.
because the
And
way you broke down crying, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel bad. If I
when you
had
told
known
me
for
that you
5
were
years,
cleared of it, when you told me you were
yeah,
cleared of it, that is literally, aside from learning that I was pregnant and having another baby, like the best news I've ever had in my life.
yeah, because you're my babe.
I
I was
couldn't.
happy to tell you because you legit was worried about me.
I was all the time, and just all the time, and then talking to you, and you were disoriented, and you're just, oh my God, and then your mom, and then everything that happened with your dad, and I felt so bad for your mom. It was just a
Yeah,
lot that went on in the family, for a while.
yeah,
But,
there's still a lot going on.
and I'm
Oh,
sure
hey, you
there
need to
is.
tell me. Hold on. When you ready to take that necklace to get fixed, you need to tell me because I know I got cotton mouth. I did a insurance on it.
Insurance,
Yeah, when you buy jewelry, fine jewelry, you pay insurance. I mean, I
like
do.
life insurance.
Like a protection plan, like 2 years. It's not life insurance, but I mean, damn. How you gonna do life insurance for a necklace?
Bitch, let me tell you something.
I just want to know.
They won't even give me life insurance.
Bitch, I know why.
Because my DUIs.
I wouldn't give you no damn no type of insurance, bitch. You can't even have medical benefits for me. Nothing.
I just find it like screwed up. It's like, how long do I have to pay for a mistake I made 10 years ago?
You want me to answer you as your friend or as another human being? Which way? Which way?
I don't know.
Ponder.
I mean, I don't care. I just think it's a little ridiculous that, I was 22, 23 years old and got screwed up. And then,
so I can't even leave
I can't even leave my kids money.
I'm just going to say a random number. If I have 5 DUIs, right, me, and you on the flip side didn't have any, and I said, hey, I'm driving the kids to San Antonio, then she come, your answer should be hell no, bitch, you got how many DUIs, but as your friend, I would say, okay, I can trust you, but let me drive. I'll go. Versus just telling your ass no.
I don't know. At some point, I just feel like you have to let that shit go.
Girl, it don't work like that.
But I did. I got 3 DUIs in a matter of 5 years. And so, and I applied for it right after the last one. So I think that's why they were, But otherwise, they're really not supposed to, like, when you go to rent an apartment, get a job, stuff like that, they're not supposed to look past 7 years.
Yeah. Well, for certain felons.
It just depends. But also, I think what happened and what's going on with, like, my background checks that keep failing is that I got out of prison in 2019. So I think that's what's showing up. Because the charge is from 2012.
Yeah.
So they're really...
You ran for 7 years?
No, I signed for 5 years probation. I did. They didn't charge me. They charged me like damn near a year after the accident, and I was already pregnant with Jada. So I went through all that bullshit. I signed for 5 years probation and like 30 days in jail or something, and then they allowed me to do weekends. And I did 4 years, passed every drug test, did all the fines, blah blah blah, and then when Jasmine died, I just quit going to see my probation officer. I had 1 year left, and they gave me every opportunity. Even my first probation officer that I ever met even called and said, we know what's going on, and just come in, man. Please, you're about to go on the warrant list.
Did you go?
I didn't go.
What? Why?
Because I didn't give a fuck about anything. Nothing. I didn't care about anything. I didn't care if I lived or died or whatever.
I absolutely cannot with you, bitch.
That is the way that I responded to Jasmine's death. I just did not deal with it well.
But you caught up with all that now with your jail time, right?
Yeah, everything's all good now.
Okay.
So I went in, and after 2 years, I turned myself in, and the judge, I could have done, it was a 6-month sentence, which was going to be this program called Safe P, which is kind of like a lot of counseling or whatever. But I don't know. And when my lawyer came to see me, he was so excited to tell me about the 6 months. And he said, or you can do 18 months and be done with everything, no more probation, nothing. And I just immediately
something
just came over my body, and I just someone do the 18 months. It was just like immediate, you know? And he was like, are you serious? He was like, man, I just got you this deal. He was like, you crazy? He was like, you don't have to do this. And I said,
He didn't understand you
if
did.
I'm gonna take this time and I'm gonna be away from my children and my family and all the disappointments that I've caused them and all the hurt, I said, something's fucking wrong with me and I need to figure it out. And I don't really think I can do that in 6 months. And I'm telling you right now, and 6 months in, you couldn't have even paid me to walk out of there.
I know.
I mean, it was just, I would have not been ready in 6 months. And it was crazy. There was these pastors that came in. It was a church group that came in, and they came into the pods to talk to us. And it was the day of my 6 months of being incarcerated. And this woman sat down at the table and she looked at me and she said, she was talking about all her DUIs. And she said something along the lines of 6 months. And she said I had an option. And then she looked me directly in the eyes. And I could just feel God. And she goes, 6 months just wouldn't have been enough. And I started fucking bawling. I just started bawling, you know. I know God's probably not.
Keep that thought. Hold on a second, okay? I just got something smart to say. So, I know for me, if I don't enjoy a TV show or a song or someone's voice, I'm not gonna answer my phone, watch that channel on my TV at all. So, if my life aggravates you so much, why are you here? I don't ask y'all. I don't make previews saying I'm gonna talk at this time. I come on live randomly. And a couple of y'all who love to try to talk noise, you always come. And you clearly have
I don't even see how
have
you
a hard
even see
on.
the comments.
I don't know. It says comments. I just have to post them up there, but
I don't know how to do that.
no, girl, I haven't posted them.
Oh, it says comments.
This person, I don't know that person. I don't be knowing these people constantly who they are. I really don't be caring. It's just if you hate how my tongue is and how I talk, you shouldn't be over here. Y'all know I don't care. And I'm gonna tell you this music and dance.
Who the fuck is Bay Wilson?
I don't know.
They're an idiot.
Oh, you see it now? You can see it now? I think she froze. I think she froze, but that's moronic to me. If you don't like me or what I do, why don't you miss anything? I don't get it. Let's see. Hello?
Who is Bay Wilson?
Somebody that, I don't know, somebody that just came in here. Girl, I'm calm as, y'all have never seen me mad. Y'all think I be mad all the time. I'm not calm. I'm not even.
If you don't like what people have to say, then why the fuck are you listening to it?
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ. We don't have a life. We're two best friends talking. You don't have a life, you stupid son of a bitch. You're talking shit on a social media website.
Well, Jesse, it's because people think I don't have any real friends. I don't have any friends.
That's just ridiculous thing.
No, she was retelling the story because she was asked to tell her story a long time ago, and then she was made fun of by telling her story. That's it. And I just did a brief intermission because it's always a problem on my comment section. But Why block him and make a another account and come back? I thought she saw the comment. I didn't know she couldn't see the comments. But you go back to talking. I thought you could see the whole comment thing, so I'm the only one to see it.
I'm not even putting the comments back on because honestly, I really don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what? Because let me tell you something. Sometimes when you have the balls, when you drop your ball sack and you get over your shit and quit feeling sorry for yourself and you tell your story, you help one person. And if I can help one person by anything that I say, that's all I
It's
give a
worth
shit
it.
about.
Mm-hmm.
So
Life is not embarrassing. Like, some people go through secretly what you go through openly. Me too, and they just want to hear
yeah.
somebody else say they're normal.
You think I'm proud of the fact that I fucking drank a half gallon of vodka every day for 2 years? You think I'm proud of the fact that I lost my youngest daughter is with her dad. I haven't seen her in how long? You think I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of the fact that I didn't see my middle child for 4 years? I lost
Mm-hmm.
one kid, but I had two other sets of eyes looking at me and that needed me. And I didn't fulfill that duty as a mom because I was too fucking selfish, basking in my own shit and wondering why. Why, God? Why
Mm-hmm.
didn't you answer my prayer when I told you, please, I am 28 years old. I have fucked up my entire life. Like, just take mine and give her hers.
Yeah.
It's just the way that I dealt with it, man. And I'm trying to
Yeah.
slowly pick up the damn pieces. And I finally have Jada back. And I have a
Which is a
straight A
blessing.
student. I have a student that is at school every single day on time, makes straight A's, looks cute as fuck, by the way, every day. I mean, and she's extremely well mannered. Um, all I have to do is this, the mom
Right.
look, and she knows what's up. I have a good damn kid, and I have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, after trying to readjust in prison, readjust from everything that I had done, and everything like that, now I'm having to readjust to being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm having to try to not overcompensate for the time that I've missed with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now knowing everything that she's been through, which is freaking horrible, try not to overcompensate and still try to keep those same manners intact and dealing with a child that has had absolutely zero discipline in 4 years. When I am
Mm-hmm.
the opposite mom of that. And introducing her to a new man, which I never thought I would do again. And
Yeah.
and putting all this man that lost his wife 2 years ago went in 1 year. He went from having a girlfriend to chickens to a dog to a cat to a hamster and a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. It's trying to learn how to balance everything. There is no book on how to do it.
I don't think
So
he would take you any other way though.
no, he wouldn't.
Right. He loves the hell out of you.
He does.
Yeah, you
And you
smoke
know
one more
what,
cigarette, we
Ashley?
gonna
That's
toss,
all
we
that
gonna
matters.
tussle.
Whatever
Yeah.
these stupid people fucking say, all that matters is I have a roof over my head. I have a child that is healthy and loves me. I have a man that would literally do anything for me. I have a job. I am supported. Even if I didn't want to have a job, I wouldn't have to have one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
supported in every way, shape, and form. And I have everybody that I've been loyal to in my life, I have them. And that's
Yeah.
all I care about. I don't care about anybody else or anybody else's freaking opinion. If you're not helping me become a better person, then go fuck off. Screw you and
There's
your damn opinion.
a lot of people on here are nice. You just have a few that just have personal issues with me. Don't worry about that part.
Bobby? Good night. Bobby in the corner?
Y'all
Bye,
so
have a good
fucking
one.
country. I
It
love
is
it
very
out there.
country. I love it out here. It's a whole
Yeah.
different breed of people.
It really is.
It really is. Everyone's just so damn chill.
And laid back and nice.
Yeah. and nobody cares. Everybody works in some like industrial job, and they just, I don't know. Everyone around here is just cool. I don't know. It's a definite change from Katie and
All the
Houston.
friends that I've met from y'all so far have been very nice. I only had one issue with one friend. Everybody else, it was no issue.
Which friend was that?
The old girl who made that cocktail sauce in YouTube was like, "You gotta taste it." I'm like, "No, I can't." And I literally spit it out.
What girl?
The older lady who was real sweet.
Oh,
When we
Karen?
came to the crawfish boil,
Yeah.
girl, yeah, I was like, mm-mm. She's like, just taste it. Yeah. Mm-mm. That wasn't for me.
I just
It
thought it was
wasn't.
hilarious when your mom was in the car and I had to go to the car and coax her out. She was like, Jesse, she's like, I love you. She was like, I don't really know about this, and all she's
Wait,
seen is
who
a bunch
said
of
that, Mama?
your mom. Yeah, I had
Wait,
to.
what did she
It's like
say?
she was like, Jesse, she's like, I don't know about this, but there's all these guys in overalls and cowboy boots and
Oh, okay, I get it.
and we had that Confederate flag flowing and everything. And she said, man,
And I was
I
on
don't
y'all
really
ass
know.
about that
I,
shit.
I don't really know about this. And I was like, man, just get out and eat some food and just hang out for a minute. I promise you. And when I talked to her after that, she was like, I had the best time.
Yeah,
Because they
because
really are.
like we're Southern.
They're just
I just have
down
to
the
explain to
hall.
you how it represents to black people. Like it has a painful connection, but to Southern people who aren't racist, you appreciate how Southern you are. But that was just I don't like it. I don't. Yeah, I don't have it around when I'm around, so I'm good.
Is that Brian? Hey, Brian. This dude thinks that he can just leave his house without giving me a hug. He is out of his mind. He
What
knows better
happened?
than that. Brian's trying to leave without giving me a hug.
Oh, damn.
And I don't think that that's right.
Bye, Brian.
Who that?
Ashley.
The same Ashley you asked who that was
Hey, babe, what you doing?
earlier. Talking
What's
to
up?
Jess.
Thank you.
Nothing.
What's up, babe?
Don't you ever do that.
What? Gonna leave without a hug?
Don't ever do that again.
Check
Ever.
on the phone, y'all.
I don't care if I'm on the phone or if I'm fucking the Pope. You better damn give me a hug. Bye.
This did you say fucking the Pope?
Yeah, I did. I shouldn't have said that.
Bitch, that's nasty.
No, but all the boys know when they come over here, when they walk in and they walk out, I need a hug when they come in and a hug when they leave.
Girl, I'm feeling your nasty comment. I feel like there's gonna be layers of roads, and it ain't that cool where he at. He's
Well,
old. Yeah, you gotta look and see where Jamie at before you talk this shit.
yeah.
Period.
I'm surprised they left. Are the Astros done playing, I guess?
Probably.
I guess. I hope he won. Or Jamie's going to break the damn TV.
Girl, he gonna pay for another one too.
He's like a freak about the Astros.
My brother's the same way about football season. I'm like, but he plays like a fantasy football league, so he always win money. But he won't teach me how to play.
You know, this
He
is the
know I'm a
first time
copy
I've
all his
actually
shit.
this is the first time I've actually like gotten into sports. Because I don't feel like growing up with all my brothers, it was just constantly like just shoved in my face, just trying to do this and teach me this and teach me that about this sport, that sport. And just, it really kind of made me just not like it. And so I was
Yeah.
always just the one that, all the guys would get together and then I would cook the food. And I enjoyed more of the get together type situation. You know what I mean? And
And
that's
I'd
when I
rather play
learned
dominoes and shoot dice.
each one of my brother's girlfriends. That's how I knew I didn't like them. Bitch, when I ask you to come in here and help me fucking cook this damn queso and you come and stir it once and go back and sit your stupid ass on the couch. Come on.
I never
man.
helped you cook, bitch. So what you feel about me?
I don't like that. I don't want my brothers to be with some woman that can't cook and that doesn't want to. That was like one of the best things ever growing up. Some of the best memories. It's just, I was like 4 years old. As soon as I could reach the stove on a stool, I was cooking. And it was just a extreme bonding experience with my grandmother and my mom and I. I just taught how to cook. And one time I told my brother's girl, I called her his ex-wife, and I said, hey, we're making bacon wrapped shrimp, but I forgot the bacon at the store. Can you stop by and grab
I know that's still funny as shit.
She brought pre-cooked fucking bacon. Pre-cooked bacon.
Pre-cooked bacon.
I looked at my brother. I said, you cannot marry this girl. I mean, seriously. I said you can't marry her. I mean, what kind of thought process was that? To bring crispy pre-cooked bacon in a box to wrap shrimp in. It's not
She
even.
had no idea what you were making.
It's common sense.
Everybody don't use that common sense.
But I remember on their rehearsal dinner. Oh my God! I came home and I put on a penguin onesie, and I was so tossed that night, and I just started screaming. I was like, Pat, I was like, you can't do this. You can't marry this girl. I mean, I'm still doing your laundry. She can't even do your laundry. How is she supposed to take care of a household? She can't do anything. She brings pre-cooked bacon to a shrimp wrapping thing. Like, what? You can't do.
That's what he liked, though.
And so, my brother, I mean, they called the cops on me. My brother pinned me down in the corner in the front of the house. And the cops come in, and I'm in my onesie. They're like, all right, you're going to behave. You can't decide who your brother marries. I'm like, whatever.
Me and brothers did not have the same experience. I didn't wash their clothes.
But I was just like, it was so funny. So I was like,
wait, just somebody said being friends with someone who has a Confederate flag. This is why the ancestors pushed you with poor health. The Confederate flag, really? I mean, that's how you feel. No, did anyone ask her about the conversation we had, or why she has that flag, or why I don't appreciate that flag, which is why I don't see it anymore? So if you want to ask,
people that want to talk about it might want to know their history before they talk about it. And if I was a racist,
it doesn't get that cold. Like
if I was a racist, then why the hell would I be sitting here talking to my best friend who's black? So shut the fuck up and know your history and know what the hell it actually means.
Well, we know the history, but again, to black people, it has a different meaning to it.
Okay, well, some people can look at it one way, but we don't look at it that way. It's a different.
I get that, but I have to respect how you feel. You have to respect how I feel. So the agreement is, when I'm there, it's not around.
And I told you when you come over to my house, I said, if it offends you, I mean, I'll take it down, but we're not viewing it that way. We're viewing it for what it really meant, that it's been completely misconstrued over the years. And
I still take it the way it is. It's not
whatever. I don't want to get into that. Whatever.
Because it's not misconstrued.
If I was a racist, why in the fuck would I have why would I be even friends with you or talking to you? That's just,
it's not because you're racist. I mean, but the main stereotype.
We have a history too. So
yeah, I mean tell me white people history, because I really want to know.
Well, this is one thing that really gets me pissed off about conversations I've had with black people when they start talking about the slaves and all that kind of stuff, especially when I was in prison. I finally told one chick, I was like, do you know the first person that sold a slave was black? And do you know the first person that saved a slave was white?
But what is white history?
But they don't
know about black history.
A lot of people don't even know that. And then I told this one girl, I said, you know what?
I know
worried about everything that your ancestors did, and everything they
Yes,
went
what
through
is white
to fight
history?
for
I'm
their freedom.
waiting.
What the fuck are you doing sitting
I'm
here in a goddamn
waiting.
prison
But
cell?
where is the white history? Y'all got on the boat, cruised across the seas, got
All I
out,
know
sunken
about
down
my white
Big Ten.
history,
Well, I mean, you're European. You're
all I know about
Spanish.
my history is that my grandfather fought in the war. He survived 21 days in the ocean on a single man lifeboat at 21 years old. I know that my dad's a piece of shit. I know that my mom is a functioning alcoholic and that she is a self-made millionaire and did that in 20 years after leaving my father and going to college at 30 years old and graduated at 40. Took her 10 years for a damn bachelor's degree. All I know is that I've been raised around hardworking women that love everybody and will literally do anything for everybody. And that's all I fucking know. And the
But
rest
yes,
of
what
the
is
culture
white
stuff,
history?
I don't know what white history is.
Because
I
you
really don't
said
give a shit.
it. But that was a
My
real
history.
question.
I know my history. And that's my
But I
history.
know, but I'm
A
asking you a real
hardworking mother,
question.
a hardworking grandmother, a hardworking
I
great
had that
grandmother.
too. I
So
mean, that's
what?
the
So
that's
then
the
what?
culture of
Then what makes
America.
us different?
No, you missed my question again because you said something about white history, and instead of talking about slaves, I said, well, what is white history?
No, what I said was when there are
Jesse,
certain
Christopher
people.
Columbus came over here on the boat. That's your history. We all
He
came
came
on the
over
boat,
here and robbed a bunch of people of their fucking country and
and a
screwed
lot
them
of people,
over.
and we all came on the boat. So both of us
You know what? I'm
should
going to be
understand
completely
each
honest with you. I'm
other.
going to be completely honest with you.
I'm listening.
I really don't give a fuck about Columbus. And I really don't give a fuck about, I mean, I'm
Crystal
Irish.
ball.
I'm mainly Irish,
No, that
And
is my friend. Do every single do all your
am I
friends
proud?
actually have? Hold on a second. Actually, she never did tell you why she had a Southern flag, and we also said that we talked about it on both ends. Like, I'm black too, but guess what? I listen to other people's opinions because I want to know. I never asked anybody what is white history because we always talk about Black Lives Matter. They do. We talk about all our history all the time. But honestly, if you're a white person, why do you have to always be bad? You know what I'm saying? If somebody right now was doing something to me, that would be mad at that person. But to be
You know
mad at
what?
all
I
people
don't
who
know.
white doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know about white history, but I'll say this. I know about the history that my white family has created. I know that my mom has funded so much money into St. Jude's and cancer foundations. I know that she has saved many animals. I know that she does good for everybody that she possibly can. I don't fucking know what people did a million years ago. I know what my family has done as white people, and I don't even identify it as white. We're just fucking good. We have good characteristics. We're just fucking good people. White, black, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter.
Well, we still have to sign the
All you can
paper.
do as a human being is respect the process of evolution and take what you can learn from your parents and try to just respect them and do the best that you can as a
Well,
human being. All you
I would
can
like
do,
to match
white,
some
black,
stereotypes that we talk
no,
about all the
white,
time.
black,
Stereotypes.
Asian, I don't give a fuck what you
But
are. It
Jess, you
doesn't
have to
matter.
give
It's
a
all
fuck what
about
we
what's
are
right
because
here.
that is the issue. Saying I don't see color, but we're colors. So if somebody,
Well,
oh, I
I'm
don't see
sorry for the
color, that's
next
not the
person. I'm sorry for
truth.
the next person that sees
No, but
fucking color.
you have to accept things too. If all you're saying on this side is accept, y'all have to accept shit too. And I think the main thing that has to happen is
I don't have to
stereotype.
accept shit because it doesn't affect if somebody wants to look at me as a white person and think that I'm going to look at them different and not talk to me for 5 minutes and know that that's not me, then they can go fuck off. I don't care. I'm so
No, I'm not
tired of
talking
talking
about
about this
that.
shit.
But that's the thing. We have to talk about it because it's happening right now. You don't have that experience in life. You'll never walk in my shoes and I don't walk in yours.
You know that when I went to jail and I was waiting to be transferred to the prison, there was a black sergeant that came up to me, and I was a trustee at the time, and I was buffing floors. It was about 2:00 in the fucking morning. This man made me get on my damn knees
He
and
was
go. He made
trash
me go.
today.
He made me go to the office and get a piece of paper first of all, and come back and see if I could shove it underneath the buffer machine. And he looked at me and he's like, you see? He was like, you ain't doing it right. He said, you know what your fucking problem is? You and all those goddamn fucking tattoos. What the fuck are you even in here for? And I looked at him and I said, sir, you know that every tattoo on my body right now is for my dead daughter.
That's not all black people.
It doesn't matter, but does that make me hate black people? No. What it did was make me dislike that motherfucker. But it wouldn't matter what color.
But Jess, you're not listening to what I'm saying. That is not what I am saying.
I've been raped 6 times.
Okay, but I waited for you all day, all this time. Okay, and I'm telling you, you're not hearing what I'm saying. If people don't address stereotypes that we all have of one another, and we see the shit as funny versus being something that always turns to be racist, I think that would help without getting pissed off. But there are stereotypes that we all have based on how we
all
look.
have stereotypes. If it was a stereotype, I'd be talking like this. Oh my God, my name is Jessie, and I've got like red hair.
Which you do sometimes.
And I make like baked chicken, and like I like Caesar salads. And oh my
God, I know black girls just talk that way.
I totally use like 2 Tide Pods every time I do laundry.
But I know
and I need my mom.
My
mom is like so pissing me off right now because I need new shoes, and she's just being such a bitch about it. That's a stereotype, you know.
There's a lot of stereotypes. You want to hear what we have for y'all? That when y'all have cats, them hoes crawl on the counter. That is a stereotype that black people have about white people. Cause y'all all got cats, and the cats climb around the food and shit. And I could be wrong, but I've met multiple people who had that same stereotype, and it's not true. But it's a stereotype. It's something funny.
Biggest pieces of shit. I've almost destroyed my own relationship with my brother for saying.
I know about that. Let's not go there.
I told you about that. I almost. I told him. I said, if you don't quit, I said, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say around our other brothers and what y'all want to say. Bottom line is, I don't like it, and you need to respect me, and that's it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm not that way. It bothers me to the point where I literally will not stop fucking talking to y'all.
But you
because I find
you're not answering me.
That is so trashy to me.
But I didn't say nothing trashy. I asked you a question.
No, you didn't say anything trashy.
I'm still here, y'all. I think she got a call. No, she said that her brother called their neighbors that word, and they got into it about them about her brother calling the neighbor people that. What's wrong with you? You crying?
No, I'm not crying. I'm going to get some cigarettes.
No, y'all. The reason we're having this conversation though is because we talk about these things all the time. And I acknowledge that other people have feelings and they have different ways of viewing stuff. And when it's something that I may have done to offend her, she tell me, just like I do stuff she may do some stuff in me, I tell her. Taylor, it might be crazy to think of it a certain way, but all of us know racist people that look like all of us. And I just feel like people miss out on so much life and learning stuff from other people because they're scared to ask questions, or if they're curious, they don't ask because they don't want to offend. Like, people want to talk to you. If you ever go to the store and you know people that's around you that don't look like you.
Do you know what I feel a huge
purpose to them? And they'll talk back.
Think a huge part of this purpose of this whole thing that we're doing right now is just, instead of like, all the racism thing, just put that shit fucking aside, man. This girl is a black woman, and she's saved my life. I mean, straight up.
You're a white woman, and I love you to death.
And I'm not fucking joking. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color she is. And I'm so tired I
But it
don't
matters
care.
to us.
You know what?
But you understand that, right?
I'm tired of wasting my fucking energy on people that care what color somebody is.
But
I'm
Jess,
tired of wasting my energy on that shit.
you can go everywhere comfortably. You can go to every country comfortably. But for us, it's different. You have to think about it. Am I flying
Are
here?
you
Am I
kidding
gonna be
me?
good? No, I'm
I
so
had a
freaking
fucking
serious.
my first marriage was to a Lebanese man that used me for his citizenship. My firstborn child was born out of a hatched out plan for somebody to get citizenship. I'm right now sleeping with a gun underneath my pillow, worried about this man coming and beating me over the head with a baseball bat or something to steal my child because she is the only thing that is linking him to a citizenship. Come on. It's
Just I
stop.
love you and
What,
all of
babe?
that, but
What's
I
going on?
empathize with the situation. But we're talking about black people, white people. We ain't talking about Lebanese. We ain't talking about a gun. We talking
You're
about
going to the bathroom?
just cut and dry.
I can't hear you. Oh.
And while I'm saying y'all, a lot of people look like me. Black people, a lot of us have stereotypes that we put on other people too, or racist stuff that we don't think is racist. And I think if people understood what things were appropriate and what things weren't appropriate, we'll get a whole lot further as this generation of people because, you
Well, you know
know,
what? To be honest with you, Ashley, I'm not really worried about who's what and whatever. I know that if something happened to me in my relationship or if my child and I needed a place to stay, that I could call you and your mom and I would have a
yeah,
place to stay.
always.
I know that you will always be there for me, and that is all that matters to me. So if other people want to waste their time on the nonsense, then
Well, no,
that's on them.
I'm wanting you to be patient because we've been having these conversations for years. Over what, 20 years? Actually 20 years this year. And some people don't have these conversations. So I think it's dope to have them. And maybe other people can ask questions about things because y'all, we have the power to change a whole lot of stuff. Versus being on the internet and I started watching these big old videos on YouTube and I see a lot of them like telling people to die and making fun of their health. I'm just like, damn, people do some real wicked stuff on the internet, you know. It's not always the truth being told. Some of that stuff be really, really, really manufactured and people start to get down on themselves, you know. If you really are
Yeah.
sick and someone making fun of you being sick, you don't feel free to even say you're sick, and that's crazy to me. I don't think that's ever a good look. So
Well,
I don't mind controversial conversations with anybody. If you want to have a conversation,
all I know is that I love you and you love me, and I don't care about that. I don't want
because
to
she's
waste my
pissed
time.
off and it's the honest truth, Jesse.
Well, no, I'm just saying I'd rather spend my time. What, baby? I'd rather spend my time celebrating just the fact that we love each other and we have been rocking together for so many years, so much shit, and
We're gonna be friends,
and sh-
but I just
and
want you to
just but so
acknowledge stuff I talk
showcase
to you
that.
about.
Oh, trust me, my one of my brother's dads has a sign in his yard that says if you're not white, don't even bother knocking.
And I wouldn't even
I
go
mean,
nowhere near him.
I've grown up around all that. I have, and that's
I
why
know.
I'm just so the opposite, so the opposite
But you
of it.
okay,
But you
you as
can't
a
control what
person,
you can't control what a million other people do. All you
but you as a
control,
person, are you my friend, right? You're my friend, right?
well, duh.
Okay, so if I'm telling you as your friend, some things are hurtful to black people and some things are not. It would make me feel a certain type of way if you didn't care and didn't want to acknowledge those things that I told you versus just saying I don't care. Well, it's not just me, Jess. We talk about these things all the time. I know how we feel, but you wanted to come on here and do this. I said let's do it. It's they not gonna always be nice in the comments, baby. They're gonna tell you what they feel, but you have to also be open minded. You can't be biased. No one's calling you racist. It's me talking to you as a black woman. You talking to me as a
I'm
white
just the
woman.
farthest thing from racist ever, and I'm so tired of like
Wait, what?
I'm tired. Listen, we all bleed the
No.
same, and I
Uh
just
huh.
I've had friends that have been in the military that were black, and they were just completely hated upon. I've had gay friends that were in the military that were honorably discharged because they found out that they were gay. Like when you're in fucking combat, who gives a shit what color somebody is or who
But
they're
you
fucking at
sympathize
night?
with them, right?
But who cares?
But you
I had
empathize with your friends, right? That were
yeah, and
gay and got put out.
I had a
So
gay
we're
friend
in
of mine.
combat.
I had a gay friend of mine whose father told her, or the mother said, "I wish your dad would have just cummed on the wall." I mean, there's just every moment that you spend in a hatred with a hatred attitude or whatever, an ungrateful attitude. You just on our deathbeds, you don't get that back.
No, you don't get it back. But the thing
Just
is, you
let's all
also
love each
you
other. I don't
also don't have the
understand.
same experience that we have, Jesse. You have to be able to acknowledge a
Okay,
problem
so as a
if you
white
love
girl
a
in the restaurants that
person.
I've worked at, I've had
That
several
has
managers
nothing
grab
to
my
do with
fucking
what I'm
ass.
saying, though. You keep talking about this. That's not what I'm even saying to you. I'm saying to you, if something means something to me as your friend because of my color, you should be able to acknowledge it and say, "Yeah, I think
I
that's
do
fucked up
acknowledge
too.
it.
I want no part." Because I do the same thing for you.
I
So all I
acknowledge it
wanted you
all
to
the
do is
time.
acknowledge, but acknowledge it's not just me that feels that way. It's the reason
But
we all feel a
I
certain
do
way.
acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. And if anybody that came around me that met you that called you out of any motherfucking way,
Girl, it wasn't
girl,
none.
they'd be leaving in a fucking body bag.
It wasn't none.
I am that
Trust me.
serious about it. Like seriously. And everybody that
I
you
don't
have
even give a
met,
fuck somebody call me a nigga. I don't give a fuck about this shit. I ain't gonna put my hands on you because it's not what the
I
fuck I
do. I
am.
had a black guy call me a snow bunny, and when I found out what it meant, I went and
That's not the
slapped him in
same
the
thing,
face.
girl. If she would called you a honky, then y'all have been about even.
I was like, "What's a snow bunny?" And they were like, "Oh, that means like a white girl that's just down to fuck everybody."
Thank you,
I
music,
walked
and
up to that
then
dude and I
if you can
slapped him
educate
straight
somebody,
across the
why the
face.
fuck would you not? No,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
didn't
I'm,
know
I'm
what it
hearing
was.
you. I'm clapping for what she said though. If a person don't know something, why instead of dismissing them and calling them racist, why don't you talk to them? People trying to communicate these days. People know how to take you sometimes. It happens to me in the store all the time. I'll be sitting there trying to find something. A person will want to get right here. Person who's not my color, and I say, oh, "Am I on your way?" Oh no! Then they start talking to me. But some people don't know how to take you. Like I was said that I said why he was
Ashley,
treating
I'm not
me, and
gonna
it was
lie,
a
and it's not
problem
because you're black.
because
You're
I'm
kind of
big, bitch.
intimidating. You're intimidating. I mean,
Well, I know that I'm
listen, I
aggressive.
can count how many bitches I would not fuck with on one hand, and you're one of them.
I know.
Straight up. And it's actually embarrassing to even say that, but I have to admit it. There's about 5. I would not fuck with you in any way, shape, or form.
Bitch, I'm bigger than you. We wouldn't fight anyway. I
That
wouldn't
don't
even fight
matter.
you.
I've never
You
had
would
my
have to
ass
do
beat by.
something to
I've
make like some
never
fuck
been
shit to
beaten up
me.
by a girl. Knock on wood. I've never been beaten up by a girl. And it's not that, but there's just certain girls that you just know. She's just not the one. We're gonna settle this verbally.
We don't even argue. No, it's not like a job, but I feel like sometimes getting off the soapbox or actually being a human being and seeing that somebody is maybe ignorant in the area, if you can't educate them, they won't ask the next person if you was rude as hell. Like, come on, it's
You
the
know what
same.
we
It
need
goes
to
both
educate?
ways.
What we need to educate everybody on, and the message that we need to spread. Just fucking let's just love each other, man.
It's not right there for black people,
Just
Jesse.
love
If
each other.
that
I
may
don't
be
care.
how it works
And if
for
you
you,
don't
but
want to
not
join
me.
the movement, then you enjoy your miserable fucking life. Just
Everybody's
love
not
each other.
miserable. You know what we would like more than anything, just to be plain, is white folks minding black folk business. That would help a whole lot.
If what?
If white folks would stop minding black folks business, that would just help a whole lot of
Stop
things
minding
because
their business?
stop minding.
What does that mean? I'm
Like
confused.
when you're in somebody else's business,
Oh,
white people be all in our business all the time. We're in the restaurant taking a picture. It don't matter what the fuck it is. And it's not everybody, but most of the time, if I'm not sitting by myself because this
white
is what's
people are
happening.
nosy.
That's a problem for us, girl. That's what the problem is
It's a
right there.
problem for me. I remember I
This
went to
lady
the
came out her fucking house and went to my neighbor and said, "I should know how many silverware pieces you have in your drawer because we're neighbors." Girl, she damn near got shot. The fuck? I was like, girl,
one time I was at Red Lobster and my oldest two, they were 2 and 3. And sorry for all you haters, but yes, I spank my damn kids. That's why they have
nobody,
manners.
nobody care
Um,
if you spank them.
so I was taking them to the restaurant and I had one on each hand and they're screaming, "We don't want to spank them," because they knew when I took them to the bathroom what the hell was going to happen, you
I
know?
know.
And it was so funny because it really was all the black and Mexican moms were like, "Yeah, get it, you know?"
Because most of y'all were like, Billy,
And then all,
stop, sit down,
all,
Billy. Don't
all
go
the
over there, Billy.
all the young white moms were like,
Right, and they kids come to the restaurant
God.
and even have a high chair.
So
But
I
in
go,
Houston, we see a lot of you never know what's gonna come out somebody's mouth. Honestly, that's one thing you can say. You can see somebody like me and she'll be like, "What up?" Like, some shit that you never heard before. Like the
well,
man
listen,
who what
I took the kids to the restroom that day, and this first
warm
lady
up.
walks in, and she was Mexican, and she was like, "Oh," and I was in the middle of like mid spank, you know what I mean? And she was like, "Oh, excuse me." So she turns around and she leaves the restroom, and then this young white lady comes in. And she's like, "Oh my God, you can't like, what are you doing? You can't do that." And I was like, "Bitch, you're next if you don't get the hell out of this damn bathroom. For real.
Let me
Mind your
respond
damn
to
business.
Troy.
Don't worry about what the
Troy,
fuck
that
I'm
girl
doing with
didn't
my
say
damn kids."
that girl did not shoot nobody or her family. That's my point.
I
That's
just
not
couldn't
okay
believe that she said
either.
something, to me. I could not believe. Like, listen, when kids are 2 and 3 years old, now Jada's 9 years old now, and I don't really foresee myself, unless I have to beat her ass when she becomes a teenager, I don't see myself ever spanking her again.
Hmm.
You know, at 9 years old, I can just like talk to her and explain to her, you know, what she's done or whatever. But, you know,
I didn't get spanked at
I'm
9.
sorry. When she was 1, 2, 3 years old, I mean, I whooped her ass. I made sure that my kids say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, thank you, please. Look people in the eyes when you speak to them. When you meet somebody, you look them in the eyes and shake their hand. And I drilled that into them. It's very important to me. And my children, if you ask them, well, Jada, and if you ask my niece, what is the most beautiful thing about you? They will both say my heart.
This person wants you to respond to a message.
Because it's none of my business. I don't waste my time on foolishness. If people want to waste their time being haters, and they can fucking do that. I don't care.
Oh, so you would include your uncle in that statement by saying like
He's
he's not
not
gonna
my uncle.
listen.
He's my brother's. When we moved to Texas, I was 3 years old. My brother met a group of guys. My brother was 10 at the time, so he was in junior high. Well, they all were just best friends. So I didn't have a dad around. So instead of having just one brother, I kind of was raised by like about 9 of them. And so
Hmm.
it's one of my brothers. He's not my blood brother, but it's their dad that has that sign. They're just racist people. I don't know. I don't have I'm not going to waste my energy to try to convince somebody
I
not
have
to be
racist
fucking.
family in Louisiana. I have a
Mm,
lot of racist family. I don't agree with that shit on any side, but
I don't agree with it
I
either.
do.
It's just a waste of, it's just a waste of time. And I honestly don't, I have no desire to go over to their house and sit there and talk to his dad and try to change his damn mind. I just don't.
So
He's
do
old.
y'all
And
do
if he
y'all have an
wants to,
issue with this kind of communication? Us talking about these things that are controversial, or are they aggravating y'all? Are y'all okay with it? What's up? Go ahead, Jess. What were you saying?
I don't know. I just don't have time for it. And like I told you, when my brother made that inward joke
Yeah.
outside my mom's house, and he came into the kitchen, he told me, he said, he said you need to get with what this family is about. I said, no, I won't. And I said, actually, those people, they're a doctor and a lawyer, and they actually take care of their kids, and they just bought a $500,000 house. They're freaking educated. You are 38, live with your mother, and have contributed $500 to your 9-year-old daughter. You are the
I
biggest
mean, most
in.
black people are
I said
very
you. I said you were
educated.
the biggest. I said, do you even know what an N is? You're the biggest one that I've ever known. How dare you? And how dare you disrespect them when they just moved in and make them feel like that? And I mean, we had a full on. We didn't talk for a while,
I mean, we can debate
but
it all day, Troy, but I think so far you're like me. Sometimes I'm programmed to just be like, look, boom, 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 boom. But you are actually at this moment we're educating each other. I mean, I don't think it's right that I have members of my family who are racist as hell, and her family do too. Have I ever been called my name by her family? No, I haven't been around them like
no.
that.
My mom,
Right? Black women are
Jamie
very
calls you his
educated.
black wife. Jamie's like obsessed with you.
I
You know
know
what I
Jamie is
mean?
hilarious.
You're literally the only friend that I've brought over to the house. I brought like maybe 4 friends over here, and you're the only one that he would really even want to come back. I mean, he loves you.
Oh no, to my
Everybody
face,
does.
Troy. To my face. Trust and believe.
He loves
It
you.
is.
He really does.
Yeah, Jamie's my boy. Cool. I get to
I hate
shoot
to
his
say
gun,
this
so I'm
on
happy.
I hate to say this on a live video, but
Then don't say it.
He
Don't
cried when
say
he
it.
found out that you weren't sick anymore.
Both of y'all cry. Y'all made me cry.
But he
I
did.
didn't
I
know
mean,
that.
Jamie cares. He cares about you immensely.
Yeah, that's my buddy. Even Benson meet Miss Jazz. That's a
And
shit show.
Jamie,
She's bigger than Jazz now. I mean, she's bigger than Benson now.
who?
I said, Benson Miss Jazz, but I know she's bigger than her now.
Who? Jazz?
It's bigger than Benson now.
Oh God, yeah. Jazz is about 100
Yeah,
and something pounds.
she would lay on top of Benson. Benson would be pissed off. Oh, they say y'all call me the N word behind my back.
Are they joking?
I don't know. You see, I'm laughing. It's not even that type of time,
I don't
y'all.
know
It
who the
really
fuck said that,
isn't.
but let me tell you something. I did 18 months in fucking prison. I have never called anybody that my entire life. I hate that word. And I have befriended and taken care of so many, especially in there with all my commissary and everything. I have taken care of every race, every color, everything. And I would never call Ashley something like that. That's just disgusting. And I'm sorry that whoever is saying that feels that all white people are that way, because that's just ridiculous.
No, they talking about you.
I have never called you that,
Yeah, I
ever,
know.
not even jokingly,
I
ever.
know. Because I've made it clear I've made it clear just opening it as far as how I am, how I carry myself, and the respect that I give. I want it back. And when Jamie was like, I had no idea that made anyone feel that way. I'm like, well, yeah, some things mean one thing to one culture and something
But
else
him
to
as a
another
white person,
culture.
did he not talk to you? Did he not offer to
Yeah,
take you down?
I've
Has
never
he ever
had a
disrespected
racist.
you?
No, I've never had a racist vibe. I mean, we went to a racist school. You've seen me plant girls before behind dumb shit. You've planted bitches before behind calling me out my name. So that's
Yeah,
not something that goes into our relationship. But
I don't play
as
that
a
game.
no,
I
but
don't, and that's what
as
I
a black
said.
woman though,
The
there are
message that
things
we
that
need
are
to be
taxed.
spreading, the message that we need to be spreading is that we love each other, and this is what it's about. Are there going to be other racist people? Is there going to be cops that fuck with black people more than white people? Yes. Are there going to be cops that fuck with white people more than black people? Yes. I had a white cop one time pulled my brother and I over. We were I was going to turn myself in on that Tuesday. It was
No,
my
I didn't have
29th.
a racist vibe.
It was a 29th, my 29th birthday. And we get pulled over, and the cops like, I was sitting in the back, and I brought an eighth of, I'm sorry y'all, but marijuana, and I smoked half a blunt, and then I put the rest of it back in the bag, and I just threw it in the center console, and I sat back. We get pulled over like 15 minutes outside of Port Aransas. This cop's like, "Man, what's your name?" And
That's the place you
I,
come
I
out like, where the fuck is they at?
well, I had a blue warrant at the time, and when they run your name, when you have a blue warrant, they can't let you go. So I told him I lied. It was the first time I ever did anything like that. I told him my name was Jessica, and I like shoved my wallet underneath the seat or whatever. And then finally, I just told him, I said, "Man, my name's Jesse. I've got a blue warrant. I just contacted the lawyer. I'm turning myself in on Tuesday. This is my birthday celebration for the weekend. But I promise you, I know how much my bond is and everything.
Mm.
And so he puts me in the back of the cop car because he had to. And then, not that long after, here comes my brother getting in the back seat too with me. And
I'm sorry.
my brother's somebody that can drink, a case of beer, no problem. And I think what he had taken like an Adderall or something that day, but he had
Hmm.
only had about 4 beers. So this cop keeps giving the breathalyzer, and he keeps saying that he's blowing a 0.36. A 0.34 is death. You know what I mean? So after my brother sat in front of the cop car too, by the way, for 30 damn minutes, while this cop who had a canine unit in
I'm
his
sure he
car,
had it coming. He had it coming.
he
Sitting
was
there.
saying he
He
thought
sitting
that
in
my
that whole
brother was
3 hours.
he thought that I was that we were all on meth. He just assumed white people going to the beach fucking late at night, meth users. I have no meth
I just
charges,
figured if
coke,
people that go to the beach late at
none of
night be
that.
trying to have sex outside.
But I don't have any of that on my record at all. And neither does
Hmm.
my brother. I think my brother may have done that shit one time like 20 years ago. He doesn't do stuff like that. So this cop takes my bag, and he literally pulls everything out of the bag and just throws it onto the street. I mean, I could
Hmm.
have had a sex toy or something in there that I wouldn't want
And
my
bitch, you
brother to
wouldn't have had it
see,
no more.
or whatever. So then
You wouldn't have had it no more.
he puts my brother in the back seat of the car, and he tells him, "You're gonna have to go ahead and give us a blood sample when you get to the jail because you're blowing a 0.36." I said he just stood there and I never talk to cops like this ever. I'm always very respectful. I said
Girl, fuck
he
them.
just stood there for 30 minutes, didn't sway, didn't swerve, didn't do anything. He's not giving you any damn blood when we get there. I'm telling you that right now. And I looked at my brother and I said, "Pat, do not give him your
But
blood,"
we
because he
can't
had
do
had about
that.
4 beers.
We can't
So
do
the
that.
cop,
That's us can't do that.
the cop tells me, he's like, "Ma'am," he's like, "I need you to quit talking to him and don't talk to me like that." I said, "If you want me to quit talking to my brother, then you might as well get one of your little stupid ass homeboys to come up here and put me in a separate damn car, because that's my fucking brother, and I'm telling him right now he ain't giving you no damn blood.
But we can't do that.
You have harassed us. You have thrown my thongs all over the street in front of my brother.
Your
And if you were
thongs.
looking for meth, there's a dog in the back seat. All you had to do was walk the dog around the car, and you would have realized in less than 5 minutes that there was nothing in the car."
Okay, can I call a timeout?
Well, I'm just
Please.
saying it's
Because I
not.
have two questions. It's imperative for me. Please. The first one is a real question, bitch. So had you had a dildo or something in your bag and he threw it in the streets, would they have put it in when you came in to do processing? Would you still have it when you got out?
My brother's wife got out of the car, put all my stuff back in the bag, and then she left with
Hmm.
the truck, and the cop took my brother and I to jail.
Oh, okay, okay.
But it's just, because we're white and it's late at night, you just assume that we're just meth heads. Like, I don't understand. And then the cop too, he came in and he found my bag of weed, and he is sitting in the front seat, and he goes, "Is this yours?" And I said, "Yes." And he starts writing up this paperwork, and I said, "What are you
Hmm.
doing?" And I was like, "Man," I was like, "You see how much trouble I'm in?" I was like, "You can't just throw it in the grass. I mean, it's an eighth. Like, really?" And he's like, "Are you suggesting that I tamper with physical evidence?" I was like, "Man, whatever,
Girl, ain't
dude. I'll
nobody
give
got
that shit."
me
It's just, it
steamrolled.
was
I
just,
listen to
the whole
other
thing
people when
was
they
so
talking.
ridiculous. It was just
No.
ridiculous. And, and thank God that my brothers
Just hold on. Hold on. Woo boo, girl, find something to do. Ain't nobody steamrolled. I'm listening to what the fuck she's saying. Just because when y'all try to talk to me, I don't give a fuck, but that's different. I give a fuck what she's talking about.
why is someone saying that I talk like I did 10 years?
Or they saying how you keep bringing up how you went to jail for 18 months. They say you talk like you did 10 years, I'm not sure. And then this person, that's what I was trying
White
to tell you.
privilege?
We can't
Oh,
do all
shit.
that shit. How you told me wasn't giving blood. We can't do all that. It's a different program. And like the first step is acknowledging it. That's step one because if a person can acknowledge it, how can it change? Like I've been your friend how long? We talk about these things for how long? Did I cuss you out or fight you? No. You ask me certain questions, I give you certain answers,
Okay,
and
well,
it is
I'm
what it
white.
is.
I am white, and I have been charged accordingly with my crimes, and I've done prison time. And just because I'm white doesn't change the fact that I fucked up. I got arrested, got charged, and did my
No.
time.
You're actually a very good
I
person,
did
but when
something
it comes
wrong.
to when
I
you're a
did
very good
something wrong, and I
person,
did my time for it.
you're a good person, but when it comes to speaking about stereotypes, we're you're getting off what we're doing because you're going into different things that we ain't talking about. Like we're just talking about some of the things that we can do to educate each other. But you're getting kind of defensive. I'm not saying all white or all black, none of that. But I'm
I'm
saying
not
that we
getting
have
defensive. I'm just
stereotypes.
saying that the message I want to spread via this
Hmm.
conversation is just the love. And the more that you can concentrate on the love and the friendships like you and I have, you know what I mean? I
Well,
understand
yeah.
that black people are hated on. I get it. I've been around it my whole damn life.
But
I've had
I'm
to
trying
fight
to tell
against it
you
with my
some stuff
brothers.
that you
Trust me.
thinking in your
I have
mind is not okay. Like
You
some of the
don't even
stuff you,
understand the things that I've heard. My own father, when he
girl.
was in prison, and he called me for the first time. I was 23. I hadn't spoken to my dad in years, and I spoke to him over the phone. And he started saying, "Nigger this, nigger that, nigger this." And I said, "Man, if you're gonna fucking call me and talk about this bullshit, I've gone this long without talking to you.
They
I don't
about to
fucking
cut you
need to
out,
talk
Jesse.
to you now." And
They about to
my
cut you
dad
out.
told me, and my dad, he was like, "Okay, I'll never say it again." He was like, "When you go to prison, you'll understand." Well, I went to prison
Mm-mm.
and I did not understand.
Okay, but can you understand today what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to
But it's
respond.
not me,
But
it's
I
other
don't want.
people.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm not. I'm talking to you. You're not understanding what I'm saying to you as a black woman. You're only being able to relate to other white people, not a black woman. I'm telling you, certain shit bothers black people, and certain stuff don't.
And I'm sorry that y'all have to go through it. And I know for a fact that in neighborhoods that I've lived, 100%, if a car of black people rolled through the neighborhood as opposed to white people, the black people are going to be pulled over
But me
first.
too, Jess.
And I
If I'm
understand
sitting where
that.
I
And
grew up at, big ass house.
I'm
What do
not
you
saying that
mean?
that's not the way that it is.
But
But I'm
it
saying the
is.
more
But when you
conversations
say,
that we can have
I
and show
know,
the bond between a black woman and a white woman, and a black family that would accept a white woman and her child in their home in a heartbeat, the more that we spread that message and show that there can be love
there's
and
already
concentrate
love.
on that. That's what I'm saying.
There already is love. It's just the understanding of, listen, if you love me, you're accepting what I'm telling you, or you can't love me. That's love, showing love. I'm just saying to you,
Bye.
certain shit is different, and certain things. When y'all say I don't see color, it's like ding, ding, ding. You racist. That's how it comes across my head when I heard something on TV. I don't see color. Then you disregarding the fact that I'm a brown woman in front of you, so you have to see color because it comes across as brushing it off or brushing it off, and y'all just got to swallow what happened. We can swallow the slaves. We can't swallow all of 2019 through 2022. That's not swallowing the past. That's swallowing some very present happening today shit. And if you're, though we all know people who had slaves, all this and that.
I'm not disacknowledging what y'all go through. I'm not
No, brushing it
disacknowledging that there
off.
are piece of shit people out there. All I can do is speak for myself. And I'm telling you, I've been raped by a Mexican. I've been raped by white people. I've been raped by 3 black guys in a closet. And I've been raped by all races. And I don't, when
Girl.
I think about those situations and what I went through, the color of the person doesn't, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think about that. All I can do is speak for me. And I really don't. When I come over to your house, I don't sit there and think to myself, oh, I'm in a black family's house or something. Like, I just don't, I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't. And that's all I can do is speak for me.
I mean,
And
but
all I can
you
do is that when I do come
just you
across
can
white
see people
people,
color.
well, when I do come across white people that have certain things to say, I always make it very clear that they're not speak like that
No,
around
she's
me.
not
That I
lying.
find it very offensive. But that's all I can
She's
do.
not lying. I was around for those things happening to her. I wasn't there, but I was around when those things actually happened. She's not lying about that part. Um, y'all think she's lying? She is not lying at all. It's just the fact of
I
this is
lost
why
my virginity being
y'all didn't
I
let me
lost my
answer.
virginity
Her
being
saying the N
raped.
word. Her saying Jesse, hold on, please. Her saying the N word is because she was telling you a story from when her dad, who was in Hell's Angels, called her from California. Yes, she told you a story. And I don't get this shit like, it's okay to say honky or coon or white girl, white bitch. Why is that all okay? But as soon as black bitch comes out and the person don't look like a black person, it's a fight. I don't get that shit. There's no excuse on either side of it. But if I'm telling you a story, I'm gonna tell you what the fuck was said. I just told a story on here about my mama getting a gun pulled on her and the lady called her a nigger. So if I'm telling you a story of somebody calling somebody a nigger, and she tells you the same story, but if it had to be somebody black calling her dad a honky, that I mean I don't understand. I don't get how it's not being understood on both sides of the fence.
And
Cause
especially
I
when I'm
get it.
telling a story saying that I almost cut off my relationship with my father for saying it, and I almost lost my relationship with my brother for saying it, I don't really understand where the offense comes from, because that shows that I am that against it. I absolutely can't stand it.
Okay, but it's just the fact of a
So
person
I'm
that's
sorry that I
readily
said it. Next
white
time
getting in
I'll
somebody's
say,
face.
and the word is used. People use it. It is what it is. I fucking said it. I was
You
telling a
said telling
story.
a story. She ain't never called me no shit like that or let anyone else say that about me. So I'm just saying, trust
Ever.
me, I had
And if
issues in
anybody
school.
did, it wouldn't be pretty.
That's not the same, Ashley. How do I know what? Right? I don't either. Sometimes I do say it, music and dance, but just calling people just weird, random shit, not really so much so. But just like I was trying to tell something to somebody and I said, and people trigger me, I got you racist. I'm like, I'm racist. The fuck? How am I racist? I've been called racist on here. I'm not racist at all. I mean,
No.
shit. If somebody said I'm racist, I'm like, damn. I got buku white friends. And the thing about it is, I meet people where they're at. Some people are liars. Well, you cool as long as you ain't fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? People,
All
I
I can
feel how
say
I feel
is
being born in Louisiana. I do.
all the negativity that surrounds the differences between black and white people, Asians, Mexicans, whatever. I choose just not to partake in it and concentrate on it. And like I said, and God tells you, you can't control anybody but yourself. You can't control what other people say. You can't control other people's actions. You can control yourself. And I choose to
What the fuck is that?
love people.
Boo boo, boo boo. She was telling a story. What part of that you don't comprehend? She was telling a story. Did she call somebody nigga? No, she did not.
And why? Who is this Troy person? Stop blaming me for shit that I had nothing to do with. My grandma didn't have slaves. My mom didn't have slaves. I had nothing to do with any of that. And I never disacknowledged the fact of the suffering that those people went through. So you can shut your fucking mouth. Like, seriously.
It's just that enslaving people is more than just negativity. She's very nonchalant about it.
It's just
I
so
mean,
I use the word woo
no,
boo,
they're
whoever
not
the hell
talking
you
about the
are. I use the
word.
word to tell a story about how I almost stopped talking to my father. Just seriously, Jesus
Okay, well, they want
Christ.
you to apologize for saying nigger in your story.
I didn't mean any offense by it. I was telling a story of what my dad said to me after I
So,
hadn't
y'all, the
spoken
white
to him
person
in
telling the
years.
story, would you rather them not say nigger, just say the N word? Is that what y'all want?
Inward. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I was just repeating something that has been said by my family that has caused a big issue between
Well,
my family and I.
I'm asking other black folks. This is the point of it because we're having a conversation that nobody has. People are too afraid to have it publicly because of all the backlash. But me and her said, let's talk about some of these things openly. Because it's not always just understanding how I feel. It's not always about how she feels. And we don't always agree about the shit. But it's
And
not
I
even
don't
an
need to
issue that we
explain myself.
have.
I don't need to explain myself. But when I went to the homeless shelter a couple weeks ago and went in there
Yes,
and
they
brought
do,
all
Troy.
this stuff, I met one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met in my entire life. And she was black, and her son obviously is black.
But
He's
Jesse,
2 years
that
old.
don't fix
And I went
it.
back 2, 3 times and brought her stuff personally and made
But
sure to
that's
bring
not
it to her
what
personally. But it didn't
they're
matter to
gonna.
me that she was black. It didn't matter
It
to me.
does matter to us,
Why?
because you
Why? It doesn't
saying,
matter if she was
listen,
black. She is a young
listen.
woman. She's a
If
young
they're
mom.
having a conversation with you about saying nigger and you back up
I
with another story,
apologize.
hold on, baby. If you back up with another story about black people, woe is me, that we don't like that, just say I'm sorry and move on. You don't have to tell us a story about black
I
people.
said
That's
I'm
all I'm
sorry 5
saying.
times.
That's it. But you went
I
to a
was
story
telling a
about black
story.
people. They ain't helping you. They
Well,
hide.
I just don't like when people don't come at me like that. It just pisses me off. I help everybody the same. I love
She
everybody the
didn't
same.
enslave
I'm
anybody. I think
sorry I
she's
said
defensive.
that word. I was telling a story again for the 5th time. I'm
Okay,
fucking
Jessica,
sorry.
just calm down, babe. She asked why you won't listen because she's thinking she's getting ganged up on, and that's not the case. It's not the case. But that I'll explain to you. Remember we talked about why people call white people Karen. So somebody says you're Karen because of the story you mentioned after you apologized for using the N word, right? My interpretation of a Karen a little bit different, but each person has their own. That's a stereotype. That's a
I know
stereotype.
plenty of Karens.
Yes, Brittany's a Karen.
I
Brittany's a
actually know a
Karen.
Karen, and she acts just like a Karen.
That's so you don't want to understand. No, that's the thing.
I'm
She
sorry. I
actually
don't know. I
do.
guess I'm just a little bit more free spirited than that, and I don't mean to offend anybody. And I'm sorry if I did. I just was telling a story. I don't know. like I said for the millionth time, I love everybody
I
the
don't know. I
same.
thought that
I don't
I
care.
didn't think that was a violation. You telling the story and you said the word that was used in the story. I don't see it as a violation. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. Listen, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel, but I'm gonna feel how I feel. I wouldn't have brought a person on here that I deem to be disrespectful to people who are like me. Come on. No, we're having an open conversation about stuff that people talk about in the private.
I mean,
So
literally,
I
and I
mean, it's
want
just me.
everybody on here to understand that if something went wrong with my basically my husband and I, that Ashley and her family would be like my first go-to. And I know that they would take me in, and I know that they love me as their own, and they would. I can call Ashley's mom at any time and talk to her.
That's my
This
whole
is
point, boo
these
boo.
are
That's how
well,
you
I'm
know you
just
didn't get
saying,
the whole
but
story.
that's like I said, that's the message I'm trying to spread.
She can't see the comments. But no, woo boo, that's the reason when I went live before and said, so if I opened up a conversation saying white people trigger me and she's white, right? Why wouldn't you think it was more to that story than what you heard from somebody else? I told y'all it was way more to that whole story, but I'm racist, so let me be racist over here. Why isn't she lobbying for reparations if she truly empathetic? You know what's on the pool? That would be nice as fuck, but with our history only going back so far, how would we even know where we came from? Like, if somebody had a record of all the people that came over here on boats and what family they, came from or the slave master's name, we probably could go back and search some shit, but that was totally erased by European people. And that's a fucking fact. And Jesse, with you being European, part of our history is that it is not gonna go away. And part of our history is slavery. It ain't gonna go
I
away.
don't know. I think one of my aunts or something did that ancestry.com thing, and
Hmm.
I'm predominantly Irish, and then I have some German. I have a little bit of Spanish, but I'm pretty much and a little bit of French. And that's my brother gets so mad at my niece because my niece is actually into black guys, and
I
my brother's
know.
just not he's not having it. And I mean, I was never allowed to date black guys. And he told her anyway. He said something to her about it, and he's like, "I'm not trying to have any mixed grandbabies." And I was like, "You realize that we're mixed, right, Pat?
Y'all
We're
just
just
mixed
mixed
with a
with
bunch of
different,
European
but we're just
people.
mixed with different white. We're all mixed. Everybody's freaking mixed. I've never met somebody that was 100% something ever in my entire life. We're all
Oh, they
mixed."
have people who are 100% European.
Well, I'm sure they do. I've never met one.
You have to be out here doing ancestry.com and know all of them.
I
See,
don't
it's
know. My
different
aunt
for
did it.
us. Like
She
with my
retired.
dad,
She
he's
got
black
bored.
Indian, but my mom is from all types of different shit. My grandma Lizzie was a white lady. That's my mama's great grandmother. So the fuck, I don't know. All I know is when I wake up in the morning, I'm a black woman and I love it. And I don't mind trying to educate anybody who wants to hear what I'm talking about with it. But if if not,
I'm sorry, Troy, that your ancestors went through what they went through, but that has nothing to do with me. And I don't need to be blamed for it. And I don't need to be labeled as somebody that would ever do something like that.
but see, okay, the last two parts of the statement, you
Well,
could have left it
seriously,
off because it go. It's like a
I didn't have
pseudo
anything to do with it.
apology. Nobody said you a slave owner, Jesse. You don't have no slavery
And
money.
I
We
said
ain't
that
even
I'm
saying
sorry for
that.
telling that
But
story and using that word. I'm sorry.
as a white,
I
you
mean,
because
I
we
just
talk
don't
about shit.
understand.
But as a white person, just basically saying get over it, y'all don't have shit to get
I did
over.
not. I did not
I
say
mean,
that.
basically, it was like,
I
okay,
did
let's
not.
move
What
on.
I said is I had nothing to do with it. And every
That's the
human
same
being in my
thing.
family that I grew up with had nothing to do with it. I can't say or speak for
Ashley
people.
White Black is Samoan. You're no fuck I'm not. Who even said that? That's so fucking dumb. Focus on what you focusing on, not on me. Some damn white black and Samoan. The fuck? That sounds dumb. But no, I do believe y'all take her wrong just because some of us, which means black people, gotta learn how to let some of the guard down. I mean, we all do. I think that's me. Absolutely, it's not fair. You know, people have generational wealth. They built up from those days, and everything was stolen from black people. And I agree with that 1,000% A whole lot of shit was stolen from black people. And I wasn't there, neither was she, is the point. So how can things be worked out better now between bridging that gap? My thing was if somebody talks to me and they want to ask me certain shit, I let them talk and I talk back to them. It doesn't always feel good to have an honest conversation. It doesn't always feel good to realize, damn, I'm fucked up too, looking at everybody else being racist, and we all have microaggressions. I'm not cutting
And
for
I wouldn't
anyone.
care, honestly, I wouldn't care what color somebody was that was treated in that manner when during those times, during the slave times. I don't care if the Asians or whatever, or white people or whatever. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. But I had nothing to do with it, and I don't feel like I should be punished for that because I had
Nobody's
nothing to do
punishing
with it.
you. All I said was we want
And I
y'all
don't
to
want
just come on
anybody to
y'all
sit out there and think
business.
that just because I didn't grow up in a black family where it was discussed as maybe as much or so, but I am highly educated on that situation, and I find it completely disgusting. But it's just I didn't do it.
Woo Woo, do you want to come up on camera? Since you have a lot to say, I have no problem with you speaking on your feelings.
Jesse, other whites might
We
not have
agree.
owned anything, but she benefits. I
Yeah,
benefit
that's
from
what
what?
white privilege is. When we say white privilege, that's what it means. Like I said, y'all can go anywhere
You know what
comfortably.
my skin has gotten me? My skin has gotten me raped 6 times. My skin has gotten me having to bury a 4-year-old daughter from cancer. My skin has gotten me to be a drug addict. My skin has gotten me to be an alcoholic. My skin, I am no different than anybody else.
It has nothing
So
to do
don't
with your
fucking talk to me
skin.
about what my skin is.
Nobody's talking to you about your
Okay?
skin.
I mean,
White
straight
privilege
up.
is different than your skin
Because
color.
my skin is the same thing, and I've gone through the same thing as the next black mother or Mexican mother or anything else that's buried, anybody else that's buried a child. My skin is the same. I bleed the same way as
That
every
girl
other
has
woman
not
that's been
cried.
raped. Well, I'm just saying, like, stop.
No, somebody
I'm
said
not
you're
benefiting from,
crying.
I'm not benefiting from shit, from being white.
Okay, do you understand what that means before you go after him? Do you understand what white privilege means? I don't think you do. We've never talked about it. I don't really bring it up to you. But
I came
white
from
privilege
money.
is real. No, if I went for a job and you went for a job and we had the same background and we shared my background, which is no issues, right? And if my name was say Tamika or Tangela, and you come in as Jesse, first of all, if you have experience, I can have a degree. They gonna still pay your ass more than they gonna pay me, and you have different requirements than me. That is white privilege. No, you didn't ask for them to overlook you, but it's an automatic thing. That's what we want you to understand. It's an automatic. It's nothing that you're choosing to do. It's not your fault or anything, but it's real, and people have to acknowledge that shit in order to grow from
Ashley,
it.
hold on a second.
Okay.
Fuck.
What is a buy?
I think it's,
What?
I'm just so
Oh,
paranoid.
a BA. Huh?
I'm so paranoid because of David.
Girl, go in the house then. We finna get out here because I'm sleepy.
What the hell?
This is not gonna be our
This
last one,
person,
y'all. So since
this
y'all
person just
seen
sat there and like If they turn down this road, I'm hightailing it to the house.
Why don't you tell Jamie? But yeah, we're gonna do it again another time. And if this is gonna be the tone of it, like we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. Not all gonna be easy conversations. Some of them are gonna be hard. Some of them are gonna make somebody upset. I don't know. You know, for one, I've known her almost my whole life. I know the girl's not racist, but she talks about race all the time. It's just simple as far as
Listen,
some of
all
the
y'all,
things that
I just want to tell all y'all, if I've said anything to offend anybody, I didn't mean to. And I just want to reiterate the fact that I love everybody the same. And I do acknowledge that not everybody's that way. But again, I can't account for other people. I can only account for myself. And I know who I am and I know the heart that I have. And God gave me that heart. And I have, in my life, I have probably about 10 or more friends, maybe about 15 friends that I've had for over 20 years. And there's a reason for that. It's because I have a really good character. And I'm sorry for the pieces of shit out there that make us white people look bad. Listen, I hate, sometimes like the white people, even my husband, I got mad at him the other day because this guy came over and he was just this tall, scrawny guy, and I was just like, the guy looks like he's on meth or something. You know what I mean?
y'all call everybody that fucking meth head at your house. I swear to people.
Well, I just don't. You can kind of spot him.
But y'all call every person that come over there that's like white and skinny, and y'all call them meth heads. That's fucked up. Everybody's not a meth head.
Well, this dude looked like, a meth head. He just did. Maybe I was being stereotypical. I don't know. He was tattooed. His face was all tattooed and just like gang tattoos and shit. I've been here for over a year and I had never seen him before. So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But,
so next time you come on here, you can't get in your feelings about it.
I want everyone to know I did not mean to offend anybody. And I love Ashley. I would give my life for her. And
they don't care about that. They don't give a fuck about
I do care about
I'm just telling you, but I mean, they don't care. Because you apologize, cool. So I say next time we come on here, you can't get in your feelings talking about race because it's things we've had to talk about for years and nobody else cared. And now we want everybody else to care and stop doing things and saying things that are offensive. Because if somebody tries to tell you, you can't say you didn't know.
It doesn't matter.
But it does matter. It matters to me. But it matters to me. I'm your friend. Ashley, it matters to me.
All that should matter to you is that I am loyal to you and I am your friend.
But I also want you to understand things. But I want you to understand things that offend me.
Okay,
I want you to understand things that offend me.
Down the road's gonna say. And
I don't care about them.
You and I banter back and forth about race.
I care about you caring about what matters to me, just the same as vice versa. We had the whole conversation about Donald Trump all the time.
We banter
but
back
I want
and
you to care about what matters to me.
And joke with each other because
I'm
don't
not
take
mad at you.
That seriously.
I'm not mad at you. All I'm asking you to do is, if you love me, learn what things mean something to me as your friend.
And I apologized. You said it was offensive by using that word, telling my. I apologized.
No, I didn't say you was wrong for using the word nigger. I said you used it. To me, you used it telling the story. It didn't offend me, but it offended other people. So I acknowledge people's feelings.
I never use that word.
No, you don't.
And everybody that comes around me knows better than to use that
word.
But
I'm not impressed, boo boo. It's just a point that I do care about how people are treated. I do care about being called a colorist. I do, because I'm not. But I get called things like, let's make sure we're very clear about intentions on this. Talking about race, that's not easy, especially here on the internet. It's way easier in person. But me and this girl have banter all the time. But all I'm saying to you, we banter all the time. But let's check it. I really want you to know something that's important to me, I want it to be important to you and vice versa. It has to go both ways. If I'm giving you understanding,
that's important to you is important to me. Any feeling that you have, I remember after Jasmine died and you would call me and, you know, you were sick and you'd be like, I know that you're going through all this and that. And I used to tell you all the time, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. If you're going through something, if you need to talk about something, just my bullshit aside, man. I want to hear what the fuck you're going through. Whatever you go through is important to me. Anything that you're happy about, I want to hear about and celebrate with you. And fucking be like,
I don't feel oppressed because
laughing together. Anything that you're sad about, I want to hear. Anything that you're struggling with when you feel like you were stressing out your mom when you were sick and stuff, and your dad,
yeah,
I want to hear about it. I'm always here.
I know.
And through every emotion.
I know. And the emotion I want you to understand is compassion and empathy. You have to learn that because if we're gonna do these conversations, you can't get in your feelings. You have to be there. If somebody white come in here and call me out my name, what can I say? It doesn't. What can I do? Nothing. I can continue to have a conversation. Maybe the next person can change. And no, I said I'm not oppressed because I have a blessed life. I really can't complain about my life. I feel happy to still be here. Honestly, I feel blessed to still be here, and I do want to have a positive
And you
mark
damn well should
on
because
anything.
you were given 5 years, 6 years ago.
But they can't hold me down. That came from God.
And you fucking made it, and you made it through it. And just that's all you should be focused on, is just how blessed that you are, and just the fact that you have been given this chance to, you know, have joy in finding out what God's purpose is for you. And
I know
enjoy
by
it.
now. I know the definition of oppression. I know it very well. I mean, y'all can't act like I'm not educated when I am. I know what it is, but also, I respect your walk. I respect what you're saying. I've been pinning your comments, but my walk has been different. I don't even know what state you live in, but I've been to a few different places and I felt different ways in each place, you know.
Who the hell is talking to you like that? You're not oppressed. You even live in the United States.
Oh, somebody named Woo Woo. Wait, race doesn't mean healthcare alone. Should have never had you fixing your mouth to say that. What? Who, me? Yes, they do. That's a big problem. We were talking about that, not me and her, but over in my household. We were talking about that earlier. Like, then the whole forcing you to have your kids. Some people can't carry a kid healthy. It'll kill them. You know, I don't know. But we definitely have a higher rate
Does this
of
person even know how to formulate a proper sentence?
yes, but she's not doing that right now. You say yes, me?
These comments are getting so ridiculous.
Well, Jess, I want you to watch this back, right? And watch your demeanor. And this is why you're getting lost in translation, because it comes off as you being pissed off about the conversation. I've been chilling. You may be emotional,
I
but
just am not. I want to be seen for me, and that's it. I can't account for anybody else, only myself.
you're
So
Jessie, a white
judge
woman.
me on myself. And I've listened to you 1,000 times
Yeah,
with conversations, and I've
yeah,
always heard you out, and I've always
yeah.
been there for you. And
But you're
that
Jessie, my friend, and you happen
but
to be a
that's
white
it.
human being.
So
I'm
yeah,
Ashley,
I'll
your
roll my
friend.
eyes
I'm
when
a
people
black
make
human
stupid
being.
comments.
But the acknowledgement comes in is that your walk in life is different than mine, and a big reason of
I
that
know
is
that.
so you're acknowledging white privilege. That's what we're talking about here, because our lives will never be the same. We can live in the same house, have the same job, drive the same car, but I guarantee if I got up from the table and I didn't pay for my food yet, and you were still sitting there, that person will come by. Oh, let me
Never.
get a check. Yeah, because
Never.
we've never
And
sat down and
I've
ate
been a waitress.
anywhere.
I've been a waitress since I was fucking 16, and I
I
have
was a
seen
waitress
so many
too.
people get set a black table, and they're like, oh my God, they're not going to take.
Exactly, but that's
I
fucked
have
up.
never treated a table like that, and I even had a black
I
family one
have though,
time.
Jesse. I have.
But I
I
haven't. Don't
have.
do that.
Not because they're black. I've not dealt with tables for whatever reason.
I've never.
I've just been like, give a fuck.
never done that. I've got some of the best tips in the world from. I've been offered jobs from Black families, and I've been told, really and truly, honestly, I've been told. I'll never forget it. This one, it was I think a bunch of Black nurses or something. But they told me, they were like, you know what? They were like, this is the first time that we've been out to eat that we really just truly felt like you just didn't treat us like Black people.
What?
And I'm like,
No,
I
ma'am.
didn't know, really what to say. I'm just like, man, thank y'all for your service. And, they left me I think they left me like $100. You can't
Yeah,
treat
because we
people like
tip.
that.
I
And
tip
I get
service.
treated like that when I go out to eat with my friends. All the waiters think, oh my God, here's this group of girls. They're all going to have separate checks and they're like not going to tip. Well, little do you know, we've all been waiting tables since we were 16, and we will tip you 100% if you just do what we ask.
So, Jess, I'm gonna sum it up with you on this last point. So, the conversation we had today, 2 hours. I want you to go back and I want you to watch it. And then when you see the comments and the demeanor that I'm having with you, and look at your reactions and how instead of just answering the question, then you deflect it to something different. Then you'll see why people are being real wrong because they don't know you. You came out the sky to them today, and we're
I
talking about
do get
something that's
defensive because
controversial.
I do
But
get
you
defensive
shouldn't, because
because,
you asked to do this show, so you shouldn't get defensive. You asked to do the show. You
well,
want to do the
I
show.
get defensive because I'm defensive of my character and me as a
It's
human
not about your
being.
character or you as a human being. We're not even talking about you. They're talking about you now because of your reaction. I know you, but I'm saying that you have you have a bunch of white friends. So that shit starts with you. If I'm telling you, don't do this, don't do that because it's offensive to black people, you take that message to other people who don't know that, educate them. It's not about you being your character being tested or you being called sorry. It's about what you take from it at this point in your life and try to move forward to make it better with other people. That's the reaction that a person who's open to make a change with that one
The
person at a
reaction to
time.
my life is to be the best example, and other people that I have met that have had a really bad attitude about Black people have changed their minds talking to me. And that's all I can do.
So the part that I gave you today, if you're talking with your friends, whoever, let them know like, okay, we really want us to mind our business with shit that don't bother us. We not a whole lot of stuff people think about black people is not true, and vice versa. And I feel like those conversations should happen, and a lot of tension can be resolved, but we're too afraid to have them. And I'm like, damn, change got to start somewhere. So at what point do we realize some shit is a
Change starts
joke
with
and
us,
some shit is
Ashley.
serious?
Change
But you
starts
can't have an attitude
with
when
people like
somebody
you
tell
and
you the
me.
truth.
That's how change starts, with people like you and me.
But
Two
yeah, see, I
simple
haven't got
people
mad
with
yet. I ain't smoked a cigarette.
two
I ain't do none of that shit. Been sitting
two
here.
I'm just saying, change starts with people like you and I. Two people that have had some fucked up shit happen to us, that have held each other down throughout the years and been there for each other and not cared about all the other stuff. That's how change starts, is by example.
Hmm.
Show
But
people,
your
show
example
people,
should be humble because people are taking the time to tell you. It ain't just me. They're telling you in the comments also. They're not trying to come for you, Jesse. They're telling you where some shit done been wrong and you're not acknowledging the racism. That's what I keep trying to show you.
there
It's
is
not
racism.
me.
I've said 5 times on this fucking thing that I've grown up around it. That's why I'm so the opposite, because I can't stand it. You don't think that I acknowledge that the racism exists?
Yeah, but you can't acknowledge it like we're all the same
I
color. We're
mean,
all the same. We're not. We're
bec-
different.
it,
Acknowledge the
okay,
differences.
I'm sorry that things I can't, you know,
Calm down, babe. We're not coming. I'm not coming for you. I don't come. We're
what's
not.
up?
You're not even mad.
Hang on,
You're flustered.
hang on 1 second. What's up, baby?
And y'all stop being mean to my friend for real. She's not racist. I know we key and all that
What's
good
up?
shit. Well, her feelings hurt for real because she's not racist. But I'm just trying to tell her you gotta be open to somebody trying to tell you something,
I'm
or you
coming
can
back in
become
just a minute. I'm
offended.
almost wrapped up. I'm gonna finish this conversation and then I'll be in.
I agree. The people that's in charge,
Say
even the
hi,
black
Ashley.
ones that's in charge. Hey, hey, Pudding.
I lost you. Hi.
Hi, pretty girl.
I'll be in there in about, give me 5 minutes. I love you.
Just I'm gonna end it on that note because I'm tired. I get up early tomorrow and do it all over again. But I enjoyed the conversation. Next time, have you some wine or something to chill your ass out, smoke a blunt. I don't fucking know. But you can't be in your feelings about this if we're gonna do this again. And I love you the same on here and off here.
I just don't want to feel, I guess I kind of felt judged, or like my
No,
comments
it
were
wasn't even
misconstrued or
personal to
something.
you. You became judged when everybody tried to tell you certain stuff is like a problem. And each time you had a story like, I have black friends or I was a black girl or whatever you said.
But I
And for
feel
them,
like
the trigger
I feel
was
like I
telling the
had to like,
story.
and I wouldn't even ever talk about stuff like that, but I feel like I had to give examples to kind of defend myself. Like I don't know. I don't know. I, I don't know.
Was it
I'm
wrong on
sorry
my
for the
side,
way
Woo
that
Boo, or what?
I'm sorry for the way that the world is. I'm sorry for the shitty people that are in it. I can't stand it. I hate them. I I'm really at a point in my life where I don't want any new friends. I can't trust people as far as I can freaking
Just what does
spit.
that have to do with
And I just,
you don't
I
be on
just,
track of the conversation? Like that's just a that's
well,
when whenever we
I don't know. I'm sorry for whoever I offended. I am not somebody that disacknowledges the issue of racism. I know it exists. It sucks. And to be honest with you, I kind of turn a blind eye to it because it fucking pisses me off. It's like I can't even watch like the Animal Cops show
but we
because
can't do that.
I can't
We
stand
can't
what
turn
people
it
do to
off.
animals. Well,
We
I don't
can't
know.
turn it off.
I hate hearing about it. I hate talking about it.
But you
And I
have to
just,
in order to help fix it. It has to start with
well,
you.
I don't like it.
So what? We don't have a choice.
But if you
None of
want to
us
call
have a
me and vent
choice.
about something that happened to you personally, then I'm
Girl,
gonna be here for you. But I
I ain't gonna
can't.
never be about no racist shit because it's not what I am, it's what I answer to. I'm just trying to tell you that okay, you told the story with it. I wasn't offended because I know the story. They didn't like it. Okay, it's a problem. But as far as not being able to acknowledge, like, okay, maybe I have had white privilege, and I can tell somebody else about it. Because you literally don't understand. Unless you were in like a social study type deal, you would never understand how it feels to be black. And I
I
can't explain it
can't.
any other way to
I
you.
don't know what it's like to be black. All I know is that you're black, and I would take a bullet and between my eyes for you. And if you ever want to call me and vent about something that's happened to you racially or whatever, I'm here to listen. I can't understand it because I don't comprehend it because I'm not, my brain doesn't work that way.
You can't
It's not that
comprehend it
I
because it's
don't
not part of your
acknowledge it,
day.
but I don't need to, I'm not going to, I don't comprehend it. It's
You
not
don't
me. I am
comprehend it.
sorry that I'm so,
I accept your sorry, but you're only human. But you have to also be accountable for yourself and the fact that you get white privilege every day, Jesse. It's a fact. It's a fact, and it's not that you pick the white privilege button. You're just a white lady in America, and you get treated differently. Seriously, that's just it is what it
do
is.
you know
We get
that
treated differently too.
older people, when they're around me, that they move away from me because of my
How do I have a
tattoos?
white savior complex? Y'all be saying any fucking thing that comes to your mind.
I'm
But I
serious.
guess y'all
People,
don't have conversations with people who
I've
don't
even
always
had,
agree with you.
I've had older people hop in their cars and lock the doors because I have tattoos. Like, what am I going to do? Rob you with
Girl,
my fucking
bye.
butterflies? I'm serious. It's ridiculous. I get judged a lot.
It's not true. How,
I
now
get
y'all
judged
just
on my
called me
past. I get judged
racist.
about me
I
being a
was
felon.
racist
I
last
get
month, and
judged
this
all the
month I
time.
got white savior complex. What the fuck?
But I'm
Y'all
not.
do too much for me, and it's sorry at this point. I know white slavery complex is not me. I mean, I don't even understand. It doesn't. Big bang bang, bitch. It has nothing to do with what we were talking about. That was not what I keep saying. Jesse, like I said, when you get off here, you got
I
some
don't know.
time
I feel like I
tomorrow.
just got
Why?
on the internet and made a bunch of people think that I'm some kind of fucking
Well, no,
racist.
but I told you that controversial things have controversial responses, and you said, okay, cool. We just kept it honest. I mean, you have to learn. You have to learn. It's not just me telling you something. It's a bunch of people that's different colors than you telling you the same thing. So go back
Well,
and
to
look at it
everybody
and
out
look at how
there,
uncomfortable you are.
to everybody out there, if I offended somebody, I'm sorry. And I love all of you, and I love you, Ashley. And I gotta go.
I love you too, babe. Bye.
Bye.
You say Ashley blacks can be racist, prejudiced. Yes. Okay, so because my opinion of it has always been, if you're racist, you just live like a whole group of people who look a certain way. So for as far as prejudice, what is like explain that to me? I didn't actually cry for anybody. She said she wanted to come on here and have a conversation about race. I said, okay. It's the internet. It's controversial. I'm always gonna keep it real. I'm always gonna tell somebody what's real and what's not. So she wanted to do it. Let's do it. But my responses and the way I feel are not gonna change based on something that you said. I mean, I'm only human. Like, if I ask a question, a person can only answer my question. Same thing with Sinead when we had that damn whatever that was. Hell, I couldn't put her to the phone and tell her anything, and I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm held accountable. I mean, Google is free. We would have the conversation right now. That's why I said that. I don't know. I'm about to get off here though. It's probably my headset going bad. But y'all have a good night.